everybody. Welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 462. My name is Nick Henderson. Joining me today, I can't speak.
What is this shit show, Nick?
I get 3 free passes today. Okay.
Okay, well that was all 3.
Yeah, but we haven't been with you all day, so how do we know you haven't used them all?
All right. Shut up. Brad Simons is with me.
Yes.
Nolan Hedstrom.
How's it going, everybody?
Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
Welcome back. How's everybody doing?
Fine.
Better than you.
Fine.
Yeah, dude. Today has been
A shitty birthday?
kinda. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't. It's one of the your
shouldn't
birthday is
have
one
a
of those
birthday?
days where you
How
shouldn't
old are you
be.
today? 35?
He's not 5 years younger than Brad.
Way to twist that and make it about Brad, Nolan. I like it.
Well, it's your birthday, so.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it. Your birthday is usually one of those days where you feel like you should be able to get away without spending any money. Like my boss took me out to lunch today. I was like, that's cool.
Nice.
But I still managed to spend more money today than I probably did all last month.
On what?
sucks.
Stuff? Like one thing?
Well,
Isn't it crazy that if you just did one little tiny thing differently in your day, what
Everything
happened
would've been
probably
different.
wouldn't have happened?
no, like I told you weeks ago, a
Accelerated,
raccoon got into my
changed
attic.
lanes.
Oh, yeah.
In
the
order to
raccoon.
get to the space where he did damage, I had to cut a hole in my wall. And
But
that
you had
took
to become a
like
raccoon.
6 hours of labor to install like a door.
But he won't run cabling to his room for broadcasting.
Well, it's looking a lot more feasible at this point now that I've
Maybe
really
the
jumped-
raccoon made a hole for you.
Yeah, you should call that raccoon back.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like a neat hole, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a really messy hole.
Oh god.
He's just getting started.
That's 2. That's 2 right there. God damn it. How is everybody else doing besides myself?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah?
It's okay.
Played
good.
some
It
video
is
games.
Friday for me.
Yeah, Brad.
I bet that feels real nice.
Nice. I got a 4-day weekend.
It's Thursday for me, unfortunately.
Same here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and my Thursday's actually Thursday. Wow, that hasn't happened in a while.
What does that mean?
What?
Well, and like, I don't normally work Monday through Friday. I'm like all over the place.
Yeah.
Usually like on weekends.
Yeah.
And, So the fact that this week is aligning to where I'm working Monday through Friday and then I have the weekend off is
Nice.
rare.
Yeah.
Which, fuck yeah.
Congratulations.
Last one for a while.
Well, on today's show, guys, we're going to be talking about some stuff. So
Yep.
we got some big games. We're going to talk about that System Shock remake, that brief but
Pre-alpha.
insightful demo that launched alongside their Kickstarter. We'll talk about Inside, although we're going to try desperately to keep that pretty. What's the word I'm looking for?
Discreet.
Discreet, because that is a game we do not want to spoil for anybody. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Before we do that, I just want to kind of react to some comments, some thoughts on last week's podcast. As a reminder, when this podcast is posted, if you listen to it on the go or you watch it on Twitch or whatever it is, please, if you have any thoughts or comments you want to chime in on any of our conversations.
Especially if you want to talk shit. Like if we said something about
Especially
a
if
game that you're like, man, this motherfucker has got it all wrong. Let us know.
Yes.
So I can
that
on
would
the
be
following
easy.
episode I can say you're wrong.
I would
Be
love
as
to read more
rude
comments
and
there.
childish as possible.
I would love to read comments where people are calling us out. That'd be, well, maybe I should. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay.
Suddenly next week we're gonna have like 50 comments, and they're all just like fucked up.
really
Anyways, we
personal.
got a couple comments this week, but this is a new segment of the show. So just keep in mind going forward, you can react to anything we say during this next 2 hours by leaving a comment on the post on 4playernetwork.com when it goes up. And since we're doing the show on Thursdays now, it should go up on the site by Saturday morning. That is the plan, at least. Piosht,
Yeah.
it was pretty,
He gets one good PO, so I'm gonna wait for his question later.
because he's gonna have a patron question as well later. He is talking about Mighty Number 9 because we talked about that last week. No, did you play any more of it, or
I have not.
not played any more of it? Anyways,
Not yet.
he says, I didn't think Mighty Number 9 was bad, he put it in quotes, but it just felt like it lacked a soul. Wait, okay, that's not the entire comment, but I feel like that's a little contradictory right there. I agree with Nolan's point about checkpoints. It would be really annoying to navigate through a section just to fall down a pit and have to do the entire sequence again. There are some things that the game won't outright tell you. I had no idea what the blue enemies did until I went to look at the tips in the menu, which made things easier. It took me a while to get into the swing of things, but once I finally beat my first boss, I got into a groove.
So just to comment on that, what Piyush was saying, and I brought it up last week, like checkpointing and stuff. Old Mega Man games didn't have checkpointing like that.
Yeah.
Like if you died, you had to.
It just seems like one of those things that you would try to fix when modernizing.
It's more of a why do they have the checkpoints they have kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like either put in good checkpointing or don't put in checkpointing. Like don't put in shitty checkpointing.
Yeah. There really is nothing more frustrating than shit checkpointing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it sounds. You talked a little bit to David about it.
David was tweeting at me about it. David apparently really enjoyed it, and was wanting to make sure that I didn't give up on it.
Well,
And I told him that I haven't. I've just been preoccupied with Dark Souls, so
Yep.
I'm definitely gonna give. My current opinions on Mighty Number 9 is that I'm going to play every level at least twice. If I don't beat the boss, I'm gonna play it at least 2 lives, and go from there. And then if I beat levels, I'm not giving up on it. I'm not.
I think I should try this game just because every time I hear someone talk about it, I have trouble picturing what the actual structure of that game is in terms of how it flows.
Yeah.
Just because you can play entire levels without fighting the boss, but then move on to another level or whatnot. Which like you said, that's classic.
It's like any
classic,
Mega Man game. Yeah, you just choose which level you want to play. You play it. If you beat it, you beat it. If you don't,
I am decidedly ignorant about Mega Man, apparently. Next comment comes from Mikey JB. He was commenting because I think we were talking about our laundry list, and I think Brad brought up he was considering playing Beyond Two Souls. He says,
Forgot about that.
this was just, I read this comment and I was kind of like, that's interesting. But he said, the gameplay of Beyond Two Souls might not have been as good as Heavy Rain, which in and of itself is kind of a odd statement. I'm not entirely sure how to translate. But he follows up by says, but I really did enjoy the story and think it is worth a play, which also made me raise an eyebrow because that's the one thing that's keeping me from being really excited about Detroit. Is I kind of have I don't really have much faith in David Cage's storytelling ability.
Involvement is less so. From what I heard, at least they're kind of playing the PR angle that way or something. But I heard he's not the lead. He's not directing it, or maybe he's not the lead writer. I don't.
Did a lot of people have? I mean, there are certain things about the story in Heavy Rain that I remember people having a lot of problems with. One being the obligatory sexual assault scene that didn't really seem to have any purpose.
Sure.
But as an overall story, mystery and the way it panned out, I seem to remember enjoying it quite a bit.
Just those child voice actors were so goddamn bad.
The child voice actors were terrible.
God, they were horrible.
I harken back to Indigo Prophecy and think about just how fucking sideways that game went, though. Because that game went...
Yeah, that went real sideways.
Real bad.
Kind of a fun, dumb way.
In kind of a fun, dumb way?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Well,
I'm okay with games getting real dumb.
Why did none of us play Beyond? I feel like out of the four of us, one of us...
I played it at E3 and I kind of didn't like it.
I played Beyond Two Souls for 2 hours.
We did.
Yeah,
I didn't go as far as
I
any
got
of
to the
us made
party
it.
scene.
We also did a new release.
I got
Tuesday
past
when
that.
it came out.
We did a new release Tuesday. We just talked about. We played a little bit, and that's as far as I got.
Okay, so on the topic of Beyond, can I tell you? Remember a couple weekends ago, I went home to Houston, where I went to my brother's home, and just to hang out, and my niece, who's I'm always trying to recommend the video game. She's always into something. I'm well, there's a video game about that, right? She was really into DC, and she watches all those WB shows or whatever, or the CW shows. And I'm well, have you heard of Injustice? It's a fighting game.
Yandere Simulator.
And then she's oh, Injustice, this is cool. It's fucking Teen Titans, but they're grown up or some shit. Well, so I went home the other day. I was did you hear about Injustice too? And my brother's nah. She's not into DC anymore. She's into Ellen Page. And I'm what? It's she's into Ellen Page.
She stopped being a DC fan. It's started being an Ellen Page.
It's yeah, we've been playing The Last of Us. It's that girl's totally based on Ellen Page. And she's yeah, that was really dope. And I was have you heard of Beyond Two Souls? She's oh, that's the one with Ellen Page. It's yeah, but I don't have PS4. I'm no, it's on PS3. And she was like, oh, shit.
Okay, can we rewind for a second and go back to the
Who's into
like
Ellen
I
Page?
My niece.
Well, it's a classic.
Like her favorite movie's like Whip It or something.
But can we
Is that what
rewind?
that movie's called?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we
I don't know if
rewind
it's
to
that
the
bad, though.
point where she only has room in her head for like to be a fan of
Well,
one
she's
thing?
13.
It's a classic dynamic that you're either a fan of Marvel, DC, or Ellen Page.
Wait, has she seen Super?
Is that Ellen Page?
She's 13.
She's
No,
13.
I'm sorry.
I don't think
Don't
she's seen
direct
it.
her
Has she
to-
seen Hard Candy?
We were
She's
talking. I was
13.
talking about that with my brother actually, and I was
About
like,
Hard Candy?
well, we had
Has she
brought it up,
seen
and then we were like, I don't think she
Trailer
can
Park
watch
Boys?
that, and I'm like, well, maybe she can. I don't know. I mean, my brother like she definitely knows that shit's out in the world. I mean, her mom's a murder police, so she knows that
Murder police?
She's,
Wow.
she's always talking about stories of like
Wait,
fucked up
are you
shit.
saying
Do
her
you mean
mom's
like a
homicide detective?
Yeah. Oh, she's now detective sergeant.
Or
No,
she's
no, her-
Jinx,
her-
by the way. You
No,
can't talk.
her official title is Murder Police.
Murder police.
That would be awesome if you had like a badge that said that.
That's the
Broke
cool way of
Jinx,
saying it.
Nick.
Well, it's a podcast. I have to talk, right?
You
So
should've thought of
what
that.
I'm saying is they're very real about the shit in the world with her. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she's ready for hard
Did
candy.
you know that Whip It was filmed just south of Austin?
I believe it.
And
Jeez,
what's her? Drew Barrymore and Ellen Page were like walking up and down the drag
I'm pretty sure some of it was filmed.
in
they-
Austin.
did
In
they-
Austin.
did
it
they
was
kiss?
just south of here. Like, no, I'm not talking about 10 miles. I'm talking about like a couple miles south of downtown.
Antoine says Marvel, DC, Pac-Man sign, Ellen Page, Pac-Man sign, DC.
That's not Pac-Man sign, Dad.
Pac-Man sign. What are you?
That's
what
greater
are you,
than.
15?
Yes.
Also, I
Anyways, we've gotten really far away from the Beyond Two Souls
DC
conversation.
over at Ellen Page.
Well, it just depends on what we're talking
I really
about.
think I'm gonna wait to kind of bring it back to Beyond Two Souls. I think I'm gonna wait for Brad to play it if he ever does,
Yeah.
and then you just
sure, I'll
you
play it.
just tell me how sideways it goes.
I keep forgetting it exists though.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm probably gonna play it closer to the release of.
In fact, when I first read this comment, he said the gameplay of Beyond Two Souls might not have been as good as Heavy Rain. I was like, what are you talking about? Beyond Two Souls ain't out yet. I was like, oh wait, no, that's Detroit.
Yeah.
What's Beyond Two Souls? Oh,
you're like moving the ghost around. It's
The
a
one
weird
with-
game.
Yeah, that is weird.
it is weird. I just had this feeling that game was probably gonna go real sideways. Like,
Remember, like the demo at E3 was like some fucking like war torn like African country, and you're like shooting soldiers. This is fucking weird.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then
Alright.
and then we played it like a birthday party thing. All right.
What
Anyways,
do
Zerby, the Zerby says.
Zerbo.
Anyways, he says this is in because last week he asked a question.
Yep.
I think it was a patron question where
Yep.
he had asked about what we thought about voice actors changing, and there was confusion as to what he was referring to. He wanted to clarify. My question last week was in regards mostly to Frank West
Okay.
being recast in Dead Rising, as well as the Outsider from Dishonored, which I didn't know that was like a.
Yeah, the new voice actor for The Outsider is Robin Lord Taylor, the Penguin from
Yeah.
Gotham.
But like, was the first one like iconic or
I don't
something?
know who played the first one.
Yeah.
Wait,
he's,
the
he's
first-
like in
the
that
out-
game for all of like 10
Susan
minutes.
Sarandon.
I mean,
Let's move on.
he is a very big part of the story.
Yeah, but his voice wasn't like iconic or anything.
I don't remember.
He also says, for those who don't care as much, Captain Cutter from Halo Wars 2 was recast as well. He just wanted to make his case there.
It's very unfortunate.
So that's all the comments we have this week, guys. But like I said, if you have some thoughts, also, well, there was one other comment from Sonic. I'm not entirely sure how to read this name. It's Sonic
The Hedgehog.
Sonic Hugh fan for life. I think it's supposed to read like Sonic huge fan for life.
Maybe his name's Hugh.
Sonic Hugh fan for life. The only reason I didn't bring it up
Sonic
because
Hugh.
it wasn't really asking a particular question. He did
for life.
he did want to reiterate that yes, the new Ghostbusters theme was truly awful. Did anyone else listen to that?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was not good. Maybe he's saying that his name is Sonic and he's a fan of like Hugh, like
Sonic
Hugh Grant,
Hugh.
maybe.
Hugh fan for life.
Yeah, he's a Hugh fan.
Or maybe he's
for life.
particularly he's
Sonichu?
particularly taken
Sonichu.
with
What is Sonichu? What? Okay, people in chat are saying Sonichu like Sonichu is a thing. What is Sonichu?
Don't ask about anything
no.
Sonic ever.
Oh God.
Nick-
Maybe I don't want to know.
Nick is old now. He doesn't know what the internet kids are talking about.
It's probably Sonic
Chew.
with his dick and balls out because that is all you see on the internet. Let's just move on.
Wait, he has a. Oh wait,
Ask his
he has
question.
an avatar. I want to. That is not
Is
Sonic
it
related.
Is
but
it
is
something furry?
It is a lady with boobies and
And cat ears?
no devil.
Is there a
horns.
tail?
No, it's one of the. I don't know.
Your phone fucked up.
Oh, I fucked it up. Never
Let me see,
mind.
let me see.
It's
fucked it
apparently
up.
Sonic and Pikachu.
Okay.
Sonic and Pikachu.
It's a
With the
a
dick and
Pikachu
balls
version
hanging
of
out.
Sonic. Yeah,
Are there dick and balls involved?
Sonic Chew.
there you go.
Oh, okay. All right. I learn new things
That's
every day.
surprisingly mild.
Yeah, there's no cock and balls involved. I don't understand. Maybe next time I will
Someone
Google
wants
search
to fuck it.
Rule 34. Anyway,
Do myself a favor and don't Google. It says. All right. Anyways,
Let's
thank
see.
you guys for your comments. We appreciate any and all comments. Like Brad said, if you want to call us out or add to a conversation, we'll have these little chats at the beginning of
Oh,
every
for
episode.
Christ's
So
sake.
you can leave a comment on the site at 4playernetwork.com. I will only be reading comments from the post
There.
and whatnot. Tweets don't count. Whatever.
Cool.
You can tweet at us, but I probably won't read them on the show. Anyways,
Yep.
let's talk about a game. Let's start with. Did we all play the System Shock demo?
I tried.
You tried.
I played
My
it.
computer
Yes.
was struggling whilst broadcasting it.
Before we get into that, I would like to mention I just checked and there is Sonic Chew Rule 34.
there you go.
Okay.
So
all right.
That exists.
Good to know.
Anyway, I played the System Shock demo.
As did
all the way
I.
through.
Is anybody else?
All 5 minutes of it.
It is. You know what's funny? I had to try 4 or 5 times to get through it. I thought it was going to be a longer experience.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be some kind of like it was in some kind of like tease
Yeah,
of like Shodan
right?
or something.
Like maybe like a. Yeah.
Dude,
like
I
a
got
boss.
stuck.
But it really is. You walk through a door and it's like, thanks for playing.
I got stuck.
Wait, was it the part where you have to do that control panel to open
Yeah,
the
I
door?
didn't know you could interact with it.
Yeah, that took me a minute to figure out.
I thought my
too.
game had glitched. I actually had to.
Dude, I hit it with the pipe so many times.
I'm not. You have to push those little buttons in a particular order to get the lights to light up. Wait, did you finish it?
I didn't even know you could push them.
I know.
Well, no, I finished it. Yeah, I did
Okay.
eventually.
Yeah.
But this footage is heavily edited.
Yes.
Because, well, first off, I didn't even see the numbers on the wall.
No.
So I
Yeah.
spent like a good 5 minutes
Wait a
looking.
second. Oh, you. Oh,
Yeah, I didn't see them.
Great. I'm so glad that I wasn't the only one who did that. The light thing was kind of I stumbled with the light
Dude,
thing and I.
the numbers on the wall was
the
just
blood?
me being, that was just me being doofy
Did
and
we
not
all do that?
noticing.
No, I saw that right away.
I missed it for about.
I think
a
it's
good-
numbers written in blood on a wall next to a
But the thing,
keypad.
the thing is, Crispy, if you come at it from the left side, you don't hit those numbers. Because I came in the room and I was looking at the desk, and I looked at the desk, and then I turned around and came at it from the left, so I didn't see the numbers.
You guys just need to explore.
You know what? I'll
I
be
did.
honest. I was playing alone in my room, and then
notice your
I
cat.
stumbled. I didn't find the numbers for a good 5 or 6 minutes, and when I found them, I felt real dumb. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. This is more of just a proof of concept. This is-
Is the audio they use from the original game?
The
idea.
robots don't talk.
I'll be
if
honest.
that's what
I
you're
have
asking.
not played the original.
I've never played the
System
original
Shock,
System Shock either.
but I have played a good chunk of System Shock 2.
The System Shock one is quite a bit older.
Yeah, but this seems to have a lot in common, just stylistically, I think, with
Mm-hmm.
what I've played of System Shock 2. Obviously, I think it's been cleaned up quite a bit. And this is all very, very early, so of course we don't really know for sure what the final UI is going to look like or how final these graphics are. It does look like it looks really pretty from a distance, but like when you get up close and personal with things,
It definitely has its issues.
It looks muddy.
It's
Um,
also very, very, very not optimized.
Oh yeah, dude, this demo is literally just like, okay, we had this very, very, very small vertical slice to show people, which is more than you get most of the time when you're doing a Kickstarter. This could be like the only part of the game that's actually playable at this point. But they wanted to give people something leading up to the Kickstarter. And by the way, I didn't get a chance to check. Chris Davis, if you could you check and see what the status of the Kickstarter is?
I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but I really would value Carlos's opinion on this demo.
Sure, I would love to hear I would love to hear Jack's insight too on the demo. He's a big System Shock fan as well. But we don't have them here.
Sorry, Brad.
Settle for you
You're
fuckers.
stuck with us.
So did you not get to play it at all, Brad?
I played a little bit of it. I got a pipe and I was swinging it around and shit.
Then you were pretty close.
Picking
that's
stuff up.
most of it.
They haven't hit their goal yet.
They
It's a little
have
Unity
enough in
tech
there to
demo.
show you like there's a loot and an inventory system, but you don't really use it that much. There's enough in there to show you that you interact with switches and pads and
It gives
dials
you, it gives
in
you
the
an idea of
environment.
what the progression is going to feel
Right.
like what you're kind of trying to do moment to moment in the game, which is pretty similar, I think, to System Shock 2 or what I've played of it. I mean, you're running around the environment. You're looking for clues, key cards, tools you can use to open doors and access panels and elevators and things like that. But it's cool to see like a classic game like this with a nice fresh coat of paint, even though it does need a little bit of polish on it, I suppose. Before I got that gun, so you pick up a gun eventually. It's like a
Yeah, it's like a little zapper.
little zapper.
Zap.
Dude, I can't tell you the number of times I actually walked up to this battery thing trying to figure out what to do with it before. I didn't even have the gun at that point. I was like, there has got to be something to do with this. You pick up a battery. And I was like, it's got to have something to do with the battery. I got to somehow charge this battery.
No,
But
you can just walk up to and interact without anything.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't have the gun in my inventory.
You
so
don't have to have the gun.
I know.
I interact with it right
but I
now.
was like, what is that doing?
That
Oh, okay.
charges your energy.
Yeah, but I was like, what is the energy even for?
But it's a situation of like nothing is explained in this demo.
Yeah.
This literally
alpha,
is
like,
throw you in
Yeah.
and just go and kind of explore and see what happens. But I don't know how much of that is really necessary. Oh, is this the original System Shock? So Brad's showing me footage of the original. It looks like fucking Doom.
I didn't know you could get in that thing.
Yeah, I didn't either until I interacted with
Wait, what
it.
is that?
It heals you. One of those beds in there.
Oh, I
heals
tried
you.
it. interacting with that.
I was collecting dead body parts
Oh,
because
wow.
I was hoping that maybe you
Right?
could interact with that thing and like Frankenstein somebody together. But I mean, saying it out loud, it sounds ridiculous.
You sound so
Only
dumb,
slightly.
Crispy.
Dude, the fucking numbers are right there. I don't know how I didn't see them.
Like you're literally trying to figure out the code, and like half of the number is on your screen within
Yeah.
your eyesight, and you're
I
like,
just-
where are the
it's-
numbers?
It's just something I didn't realize, and then all of a sudden, like right here, this is when I realized it. Watch, I look over, like in a second, I look and I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like,
That's
you
awesome.
son of a bitch.
Oh man, yeah, I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious, how are y'all feeling about the project so far? Are y'all excited about it, or?
I mean, it looks like this pre-alpha was kind of, it seems like, just a message to be like, hey, this is
We're working
these
on
are the
this.
design philosophies that we're operating under.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Imagine
I mean,
a game.
it's a space horror RPG. It's
Right.
compelling.
Yeah. So I
Yes.
mean, as long as this is a benchmark for their
Yeah.
ideas moving forward, I'm excited.
I mean, I would say the original System Shock is a little less RPG than like straight up
two?
like survival horror or whatever. But yeah, than two. Definitely less than two. But you know,
and this is the same team
I've
that's
never played
simultaneously working on System Shock 3, right?
I don't think it's the same team. No,
Well, it's the same studio. Like
no, I
Night
don't think so.
Really?
Night Dive. They did that Turok thing that Chris Davis was all about.
Oh, I know. They did a lot of that. I mean,
No,
what do you mean
and-
Chris Davis is all about.
And a new studio was formed to work on System Shock 3. If I'm not right, Chris Davis should be typing to confirm all
I am
this.
curious because now I'm.
He's
Probably eating chicken.
eating chicken. He doesn't know. He's Googling it.
It's apparently finger licking good.
just Google.
I thought
System
they were
Shock.
two different studios.
Just Google Shock.
Google Shock.
Google
Shock.
Shock.
Shock me.
Yeah, you can't talk. You're dumb.
Oh,
That's
man.
3.
Yeah. Anyways, he'll get us an answer. Just search for System Shock 3.
Ooh, they did Power Slave.
One thing I did want to point out, because
Wait.
this is made in Unity.
Yep, it is.
And obviously, I think the graphics are pretty far from finalized or whatnot. But I was actually pretty impressed by the way it looks, just like from an artistic standpoint. Like it has this weird like indie feel to it. Like because you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the graphic, like it looks like a polished, or not, maybe it lacks a little polish right now, but it looks like a big budget game that they're making, but at the same time it looks like the engine they're using is, I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say here, but it
Looks
has
like
like
Unity.
it has a, I guess I mean Unity does probably share a lot of those aspects are probably common across all Unity
Yeah.
projects, but I don't know. I just thought it was cool to see a game like this presented with an engine that I commonly associate with indie development and whatnot. So, anybody else back it?
I haven't backed it yet. I'm
Can we go back to chat?
Apparently, a lot of people haven't backed it because they're currently at 640,000 out of the 900,000.
Yeah, but it's only been 2 days.
Yeah, no, they still got time.
I probably will. Now that I've played the alpha, I probably will.
So I'm pretty stoked about it. I mean, a lot of that excitement did come from having played System Shock 2 last year and really loved what I played of that. I really, really wish I could finish that game. You have no idea. By the way, I played this, tried to capture footage of it, and of course, because I hadn't tried it in a long time, computer or game crashed while trying to capture footage. So that problem still exists. Oh,
It's unfortunate.
yeah.
My only thing with this demo is, like I was saying, it just there was a confusion of what I could and could not interact with.
I feel like there was an
because-
order of operations. They should have explained things to you.
I understand why they didn't. It's just kind of one of those things where in the past, anytime there's something you can interact with, it looks slightly different.
Yeah.
Like it looks different. You can tell. And I don't want to say it's almost a compliment that you can't tell what you can and can't interact.
Yeah, a lot of
with.
that. those elements
But that
blend in.
that happened to be the case here. Was that I wasn't aware of what I could and couldn't interact with. Like I said, there's green buttons on walls you can interact with, and then there's other green things that do nothing.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to figure out the pattern of what I should be looking for, and it took me much longer than it should have, in all honesty, to realize what I could interact with.
Did anybody else here try to throw a grenade? Because
I did many times.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
In the
They give you-
menu,
It said G.
Yeah.
I went to the control scheme. It said
Explosive.
G to throw a grenade.
Yeah.
And then I equipped it and I pressed G, and then I equipped it and I pressed that hotkey, and there didn't seem to be a way for me to
I don't
throw
think the grenades work yet. I think I'm just gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Grenades are a stretch goal.
Oh, okay.
Grenades are a stretch goal. But yeah, it
Quite a
looks like they're
stretch.
probably going to hit their goal. I mean, they've done 600,000 in 2 days, and
Yeah.
their goal is 900,000. So
Yep.
this isn't one of those projects that got funded in like 10 minutes, like some. But
That doesn't happen that
Like
often.
like Mighty Number 9.
yeah, is that really?
I worry a little bit about this project. It's pretty ambitious, and
But there
Oh,
are
no, it
there,
definitely is
but there are a
ambitious.
lot of there's a lot of big names attached to it. Warren Spector.
no, Warren
obviously.
Spector is working on System Shock 3, not this.
I thought he was working on this too.
No, he's at Other Side Entertainment, and this is Night
Why am I
Dive.
getting these two studios?
Because
fucking
they're both
confused?
System Shock.
Is Chris Avalon working on this or System Shock?
This.
3? Okay, Chris Avalon is one I was.
Probably System Shock 3. Chris Avalon's the hardest working games writer in the industry, apparently, because he's working on everything.
Dishonored 2.
Probably. He probably has a mission.
Jasix in chat mentioned there's a body under a ladder that you've killed. You end up getting stuck on the ladder. That actually happens to me in this footage.
So apparently, there's also a glitch in this demo that causes like thousands of limbs to spawn, like severed limbs.
That's cool.
Like
yeah.
so I backed it and I got I got the
fucking
first
brutal.
update. I got the first update email, and they were like, "Thanks for all the feedback," and like they're working on a patch for the demo and working on optimizing it to increase the experience for the people who haven't backed yet or who are thinking about backing. And they were like, "Yes, we've noticed a few bugs," and then there was just a picture that said infinite spawning limbs, and there was the guy standing in the room. There's like hundreds of severed arms and legs just everywhere.
Nice.
I don't know how that was triggered,
Yeah.
but hey, whatever. That's
I hope
crazy.
they didn't patch that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's not a bug.
'Cause
I'm
that's-
pretty
I
sure
think
that
they
actually
should leave
just
that as an
happens.
actual feature.
That's fucking metal.
I also really what was that? I also really like the. I mean, the last room you go into in this demo is literally you walk in and there's
A button on the wall.
like Saturn outside.
Yeah,
the
you
window,
can see outside
Oh,
the
yeah.
window.
which
you
was
can
kind of a
see
cool. I was like,
space.
that was my first like, I think this game's gonna be cool. And then I walked the door and it's like, thanks for playing. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, fuck. What were you trying to show me, Brad?
Nothing related.
Oh, nothing related. Okay.
Are we sure it was Saturn?
No, we're not. I mean,
It was a
it
ringed
could have been Uranus.
planetoid.
Uranus.
There's lots of ringed planetoids out there.
Probably.
There's lots of dick holes in here.
There's probably like 4.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting literal now. Is what we're doing. Yes, I messaged you in Hip Chat, or not Hip Chat, Slack, like 2 days ago.
You guys done passing notes?
Yes, we're done. Anyways, let's move on from System Shock. Obviously, we'll be playing that when it comes out, or if they release more content or whatnot. We'll check back in with the status of that project over the years I'm sure it's going to take for them to finish it. Do we want to talk about Inside right now, or do we want to? Is there any other games we want to?
Well, I mean, I think people want to hear about Inside.
I can
All right.
talk about Dark Souls.
let's talk about Inside, and then we'll get to Dark Souls.
Fuck you.
Well, I like to start with the newer stuff.
All right, let's talk about Inside. And for the record, we have footage. I don't think we're gonna roll it. And this is.
I say just roll the footage. Anyone who doesn't want to see
Nick
it
recorded
just doesn't
it late
look.
in the game.
Oh.
He confirmed it. I played this game for like 2.5, 3 hours last night, and then decided to record footage before.
Yeah,
going
all the
to
footage
bed,
we
and
have
it's-
is like late game stuff, and it's actually like a pretty big pivot point in the quote unquote narrative.
Yes. So.
So
Brad's
let's
putting in
not
headphones
shut
because
up.
he literally wants to go into this game blind, so he will not be contributing to this conversation. But Inside is the next game from Playdead Studios. You may know them as the guys that did Limbo, which was one of my. Really, is Nolan doing it too? I think this is just me and you in here, Crispy.
Cool.
This is the next game from the guys who did Limbo, and you can tell in terms of just their choice of style. This would be really distracting, Brad. If you,
Oh, just let him be.
let's not do the hand movements. It's distracting. But so I've played like 2.5, 3 hours of this game. You finished it today, Crispy?
I finished it, and I would like to say that it's a fun game. Brad's an asshole. I think that the visual style is the big hook here of this game. It looks gorgeous. Brad really is a huge asshole.
I see what he really has no idea.
You better not be
the
talking shit
puzzle
about me.
mechanics of the game. What are you?
Just go back to sleep.
The
Brad.
puzzle mechanics of the game are there are puzzles in the game.
Yeah.
They're not overly complicated. Like,
No.
I don't think that they're like particularly like I wouldn't necessarily call this a puzzle game per se. I mean it's definitely more platformer than puzzle platformer.
Yeah.
But the puzzles themselves were interesting enough and were
Why are people in chat laughing?
Did require enough kind of like outside of the box, like kind of abstract thought to get through them. Brad's a huge fucking dickhead, and it's a tough game to talk about without like getting into the details of it.
And we're gonna
There
try to
is-
avoid spoilers. I do want to say so in our patron Slack room, Prince of the Universe was talking about this game before we started the podcast, and he brought up the same thing you did in terms of like saying the puzzles aren't overly complicated, and he started by saying, I don't want this to sound like a criticism, but is the game too easy? And because he's like, but I don't think that's a criticism because it's not easy. I think the puzzles are just complicated enough or just abstract enough to make you feel like you're accomplishing something you do them.
They do get to a point where you have to kind of figure out a sequence of actions, and
they're clever.
and they're all like the margin of error on some of those actions is really small.
Yeah.
And it is. You're right. It is. There is a cleverness to it. Like it's not always going to be, you've got. It's not as clear cut as like, oh, put object A onto object B to open door C. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of I don't know,
And
say,
there
like,
is
backtracking, but you do have to do a little bit of like knowing exactly how long it takes to do things.
Yes.
And
there's also what I really appreciate about this game is and this is the same for Limbo. Like there is absolutely no HUD or written explanation of anything. You literally figure out the mechanics. You figure out how puzzles work and how elements of puzzles work by just doing.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. They're just fucking with you because they know you can't hear what we're saying.
Which he still can.
Or she still can't hear us. But anyway,
But
Brad's gaping asshole. No.
but while I agree that the puzzles are fairly simplistic, what I really like about it is that it propels you through the game in a really like the pace is like fucking spot
Dude,
on.
it's incredible too. Like how the only reason why I didn't finish the game last night is because like I stayed up too late and I absolutely had to go to bed. But this is a game that I think should be played in one sitting.
I
Should
wish
be,
I had
like,
kept going.
If you have 3-4 hours to put into it, just sit down, play the game start to end. The game is built, it almost seems, to be played like that. There
Yeah.
are no levels, there are no cuts. It is one continuous long line that you go across.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, I think.
And the one thing I think this does, like I mentioned, the pacing. Like, I loved Limbo. I really, really loved Limbo. But like, I think the one thing Limbo doesn't do quite as well as Inside is the pacing, because some of the puzzles in that game are more abstract, are more to the point where I actually would get stuck on several puzzles for like 10, 15 minutes at a time and had to figure them out before progressing. In this game, I think the longest I've spent actually trying to solve a puzzle is maybe like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's not even so much that like you have to figure out the puzzle. Like sometimes you can kind of see clearly what needs to be done. It's just about getting the timing of everything right.
Yeah.
The game, I think controlling the game is a dream. Like,
dude,
the actual...
Yeah, I think it has some of the best
like
fucking
the physics-based controls of, like, your character, like, jumping, moving objects around the world. Like, it feels real.
Best
it feels really
swimming,
satisfying.
I think.
Oh, my God.
Best swimming controls.
There's swimming in the game. Don't want to give anything else away,
mean,
but yeah.
Just the ease at which you move through anything in this game is just fucking stellar.
I know a lot of these kind of games, like a lot of these games that sort of put art maybe a little bit above gameplay, are kind of sneered at. I like them if they're done well.
Yeah.
I think this one's done incredibly well.
Oh yeah.
I really do think that this is a game that's worth just taking the time to sit down, play through. You might not ever play it again. There are a lot of secrets in the game, apparently.
Yeah. It's funny,
and there's even an alternate ending that you can unlock in the beginning of the game if you collect all the other secrets.
I found 3 secrets like pretty early on, and then I just stopped finding them, even though I was actively
Some
trying.
of them are like actually really fucking
because you're moving on a 2-dimensional plane, so
Right.
there's only so many directions you can
there
go.
will be ones where like it's maybe a little door in the floor that is in a field that's covered by shit, so you really wouldn't know it was there unless you happen to be like hitting the hold button while you're walking by it.
It's sneaky like that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really there are definitely reasons to go back and play. In fact, I finished playing the game today.
Yeah.
And as soon as I finished it, I started playing it again.
Yeah.
Like just going back looking for more secrets.
It's
so fucking beautiful too. I wish there's only 2 buttons on the controller that you use.
Yeah.
There's 2 buttons on the controller. I wish
A and X.
they would map a 3rd button directly to the controller that's just screenshot.
Yeah.
Like some of the fucking vistas, some of the composition of your frame in that game is
I want to say right now,
beautiful. Like there are scenes in that game that are incredible.
dude. I'll go ahead and say it right now. Like, I think it's going to be hard to top best like moments or sequences at the end of the year as
you
just the
haven't even
opening
gotten to,
sequence.
like-
The opening sequence of this game is fucking
I
incredible.
will say this: I'm not
With
going
no
to tell you at
context, too.
all. Yeah, I'm not going
With
to tell
no
you.
context.
Yeah, the game
That gives you nothing.
The game doesn't have any sort of narrative. There's no voice. There's no. It's all just piecing together a story from what's happening in the environment around you. And what I've pieced together so far is pretty fucked up. And there's a moment. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you'll know when you get there.
Yeah.
There is a moment where that game just goes balls deep. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Like it is. You'll know it. It's crazy. Once you get there, you're almost at the end of the game.
So like
but-
I kind of feel like maybe I should have just said fuck it and played the rest of it last night, because I didn't want to stop. This game propels you through. It propels you through the experience like in an incredible way. But like I said, we're not going to spoil anything potentially here, which is why we're not showing any footage. And of course, I'm sure Brad and Nolan are ready to come back. But y'all can come back now.
You saying mean things about me while I'm talking about Inside?
I didn't type that.
That was.
I was playing
that Chris
Persona.
Oh, okay.
You were fucking looking at me playing Persona. My phone's over here.
I was looking at you because you look dumb.
When I say where is the fucking drama club, don't say in the practice building. It's a fucking multi-floor building. Specifics, please. Is this still the podcast?
Yes, this is still a podcast.
Oh, I thought maybe
we just
we
finished
broke.
talking about. We just finished spoiling the shit out of Inside.
Cool.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. We didn't spoil anything. I think
Someone
we
in
did.
chat
We did a
said
pretty.
there was swimming, dick.
Sorry.
There's a.
It's not
Let's
your
not talk about it.
Okay.
Point is, I think we did a pretty good job of not spoiling anything because this
Only because we couldn't hear. Both of you were pretty terrible about not spoiling.
we didn't say a single thing about the narrative
I
in this
don't think
game.
that was spoiler.
There's a narrative?
Oh my god. I thought it was just an art piece. Can we move on, please?
There's not much of a narrative.
Oh my lord, you guys suck. Anyways, go play Inside. It's fucking
Snape
awesome.
kills Limbo Door. Sorry.
What does that even?
I don't even
What does
know.
that even mean, Nolan?
What's up? I'm pretty sure Inside was dead the whole time.
You've been playing. Dark Souls 3.
Yep. Finally, after building my new PC, I was able to run it.
How's that going?
Really well, actually. I'm
The PC or Dark Souls 3?
Yes.
Okay.
If everyone was like, "Oh, Dark Souls 3, that's just more Dark Souls," and it is. But they've added a lot of new elements. They've added new stuff that I think improves on the game.
Are you listening, Brad? Because this is the conversation you've been wanting for a while.
No, yeah, I am. In fact, I would like to ask about weapon skills. What you think about them, at least.
I don't use them as much, so I haven't really been putting a whole lot of points into it.
Oh, definitely don't put points into it. It's not worth it.
I found a few that I like, but the thing is, every Souls game I've ever played, I've oh, that sucks, Zerby. I just bought it yesterday. You can buy me the season pass. I was debating on if I wanted to buy Fallout 4 or not, and then there was a sale on Newegg, and it was $20, and so I bought it. I shouldn't have.
Why is Zerby buying you Fallout 4?
I don't know. He's never bought me anything before.
Didn't you already finish that game?
Yes.
I
But,
keep
mean,
forgetting
how
I
do you-
haven't touched Fallout 4.
How do you finish a Fallout game, though? I mean, there's still hundreds of hours of content I
guess
probably
you're
haven't
right.
even seen. Anyway, back to Souls. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one.
What's your build? No.
So I started Dex because that's what I always am, and that's what I'm comfortable with. But I was like, you know what? No, I want to do a strength build this time. And so there's probably a few points into Dex that shouldn't be there, but that's okay.
What is the difference gameplay experience wise between building a strength build and a dex build? Because I've
So-
consistently done strength build, but I'm pumping more points into dexterity when I'm playing Dark Souls 2. So,
So dexterity, it depends on the weapon you're using. It doesn't depend on what it didn't really matter what stats you have. The stats are all so you can use a weapon and use it in a specific way.
In this game, at
efficiency.
least. In this
I mean,
game.
in other Souls games, it's like that as well.
But one of the reasons I went strength in other games is because strength wasn't just tied to your weapon scaling; it was tied to other stats. Like strength was tied to, like it would boost your like endurance, or it would boost your like item burden or something more than like Dex would.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I would go strength because I wanted to play more of a tank. But now you can tank just as well with a Dex weapon as a strength weapon because those stats don't really synergize like they used to. It's more Bloodborne like. So that's why I decided to go Dex this time around.
And it's kind of a
Except you can't use a big shield.
there are weapon requirements.
yeah.
Certain weapons you have to have a certain amount of strength, and then
I've managed to make it
scale.
through like
Uh-huh.
1.5 Dark Souls games being I don't want to say ignorant, but maybe a little blissfully ignorant about how weapon scaling actually works.
So you can be ignorant. It's not necessarily necessary. Knowing it more in depth just helps you to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Is all it really is.
Helps you plan and
Yeah, so
whatnot.
you're almost like, I don't want to say wasting levels, but kind of like if you're putting points into something and you're not really using it, I don't want to say it's a waste, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm Dex is usually for quicker, get in and get a couple of swipes in and then roll away, or whatever. Where strength is, you'll see, like I'm kind of just run up and I just swing my sword a lot.
So it makes you kind of like a little, well, not really a tank.
I mean, kind of
Hey, when you get like a tower shield, which is something you can never use
with a Dex
with
build.
a Dex build,
Yeah.
you'll be happy that you went strength because
Yeah.
that thing is like you're a tank.
Yeah, and so it just depends. And right now, all I have is a Zweihander, and there's like a pretty decent axe that you get from I think like a boss soul. I think is what you need to get it or something. And I've been having my eye on that. And the other thing is endurance and whatnot. And something when you're running a Dex build, generally. you don't really worry too much about how many times you could swing your weapon.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cost much endurance too. But with the weapon I just had, my Zweihander, I could only do it 3 times, and then I was out of stamina.
Yeah.
And so the big event for me was when I was casting yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I leveled up my endurance and was finally able to get a 4th swing out of it, which is a big deal. Being able to swing it either 4 times or swing it 3 times, and then have the ability to have enough stamina to roll.
Yeah.
Because that would come into play a lot of the times is I would be in combat with some, either boss or a larger enemy and swing 2 times and be like, fuck it, I'm going to swing a 3rd and know I'm going to get hit afterwards.
Yeah.
But still take that risk. What's up, Brad?
Is this something to do with your new PC, which is making it so you have footage that's not skipping like it usually does?
No, that's always been because I always record at a high bit rate. And
you just kind of knock that down some?
What I've been doing that lately is I just, after I record at a high bit rate, so it's still high quality, I just encode it so it's at a lower bit rate post, because I can't record a game at a low bit rate because then quality gets lost. So I record at a high bit rate, and then with Premiere I lower it.
Okay.
That way it still looks good, but it plays better on the feed. Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah.
How much have you played Dark Souls?
No
3?
fucking idea. That's the problem. Is I haven't
where
really been, I just defeated the Abyss Walkers.
Okay. I'll say this. I feel like this game is more Bloodborne length than like Dark Souls 2.
Brad, did I ever ask you, since you're the only one in the room that's actually completed Dark Souls 3, did I ever ask you where you felt this ranked in relation to the other 2?
Well, I mean, the way I feel about the series is I think Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, and this are kind of all about the same level.
Of quality or?
Quality. Like, all fucking great. I think maybe a little more, Bloodborne for me specifically, a little bit lesser. But, I mean, they're all around the same level of quality, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I am still really enjoying Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, don't listen to Brad. It's a pretty good game.
What the fuck did I not say it was a good game?
Just everyone knows this isn't where I am in the game. I actually ran back to an earlier area. That's why I'm like one-hitting everything.
We do that so we make sure we don't die every 5 seconds in the footage.
Well, no, I haven't been dying that much. I mean, I think there's like a counter thing. I think I've died 14 times since I like joined.
Is there an actual
this
counter
thing.
in the game now?
Well, it's not that. There's like a different thing. There's like a covenant kind of type thing you can enter in, and once you do, it adds up. Every time you die, it adds 1 tally to that. What that does, I have no fucking idea. Just like most other things in this game, I joined a covenant, which made another one mad at me, and this lady who I didn't even know was a thing showed up, and she was like, I'm mad at you now. If we see each other again, I'm going to fight you. And I was like, wait, no, I take it back. But you can't do that in a Souls game.
Of course not. Literally, what happens in Dark Souls 2 if I accidentally, happen to attack the Lady Majula?
Nothing.
No, you can kill her.
You can kill
but
her.
what?
Imajula.
Does that mean I'm just done leveling my character?
No, you can level up a different way.
Figure out how to bring her back or something.
No, I don't think you need her to level up. I think there's another way, I think.
Because I'm literally paranoid.
remember.
Every time I run up to level up, I'm just like, take finger off the
They've
trigger.
made it a lot harder to accidentally kill NPCs now.
That's good.
Usually they'll kind of be like, hey, stop it.
Yeah, you have to really well on them.
Yeah.
You have to show intent.
Unlike Demon Souls, where like...
Even the first Dark Souls too.
Yeah, I guess you're right, yeah.
And it's always kind of been like if you hit them once and you aggro them, you can always reverse that in some specific way. But yeah, it was fun though, because last night when I fought the Abyss Rockers, I defeated them on my first try.
Did you say the Abyss?
Jesus Christ!
Did you say the Abyss Rockers?
That was probably
like rockers.
That was probably
No.
the boss that. Well, I don't know. I was in a weird.
And it was funny
place
because
that day.
everyone let me know that there definitely wasn't a memory leak when I.
I think they're trolling me even
How
in your
far are we gonna take
broadcast,
this
Nolan.
troll?
The
It's
thing
as far
is,
as it can go.
of course, I beat the did you get to the dancer yet?
No.
The dancer of the.
I just said
Boreal Veil.
I just beat the Abyss Walkers, and then there's skeletons, and that's
Well,
where
I
I'm
just
at.
don't remember the order.
Oh, okay.
And I beat that one my first try, and everyone was like, saying that, and they're like,
Bloodborne all over again.
nah, we're just joking though. No, but really, your weapon is so overpowered.
No, I will say that I will say though that I actually am a little over leveled right now
Yeah.
in the game, mainly just because I spent a lot of time like Farron's Keep, not realizing I had
that. That's the swamp.
Yeah.
That's the shittiest place in the game.
It is.
Surprise, surprise! The fucking swamp that poisons you is the worst part of the
Does every Dark Souls game have this like shitty
that
area?
poison area?
Yes.
No, but like,
well, the reason this one is shitty, Nick, is because it's a swamp and it's poisonous. So the longer you're in
is
it,
it full of those fucking frog-looking
Yeah.
things?
yeah, it not full of, but
And
there's
you
a lot of
can't
them. But you can't. It's so deep that you can't like run. You walk.
Do you know
very
the trick,
slow.
though? If you have
I
the
got
dagger-
a quick stack dagger. Yeah, I got one.
You know, I just like I just hit the first area in Dark Souls 2 where I was legitimately like, fuck this place, and that was for me. This may seem lame to some people, but the fucking the something wharf, the fucking pirate ship looking fucking area
That's
underground.
something-
Fisherman's Wharf.
Fisherman's Wharf. Yeah.
Fuck that place,
Dude, that was
That's a
really
cool
tough for
area,
me the
though.
first time I
Dude,
got
that's
there.
a cool area, but
See
Jesus
that?
Christ.
That's the kind of thing where I don't want to talk
You know,
about
you can
Dark
turn the
Souls.
light on in that area too, and it makes it easier.
Yeah.
What light?
Yeah, because
you know-
those things that curse you, they'll be afraid.
Yeah,
Oh.
if you take a
Well, you
torch
can take
too,
a
they're
torch.
afraid
Yeah.
of light.
Yeah.
But there's also a way. I don't remember how you do it, but there's a way to trigger like
A big fire,
light,
yeah.
a big fire in that room that lights the whole area, so it makes it easier to move through.
People talk a lot of shit about how everything's connected in Dark Souls 2, but I think they ignore the fact that like some of the areas
Had
like
really
are really
interesting
memorable, and I
mechanics.
thought like Fisherman's Wharf was really fucking cool.
It's a cool area. I just found myself dying a lot in that area because it's obviously I don't want to throw around words like unfair enemy placement in that game, but I don't think it is. The whole game is balanced really well, but like that area just gave me a lot of fucking problems. I did figure out the thing with the torch though. Although my game glitched at one point because I was carrying a torch and I was going up against two of those guys and they were like backing up like, oh god, fuck light. And then one of them just
Eventually
one of
they
them
might
just decided,
they say fuck it. Like if you do it too much, they'll say fuck it
you
and they'll
back
still
them up.
attack
fuck it,
you.
I'm going in. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this just ceased to work.
Yeah.
Great.
yeah.
Yeah, I got through that area.
Oh no! Don't stand still.
Yeah, I definitely never thought that
I'm
Dark
good.
Souls 3 was like bad or lesser than the others. I would just say that of all the Souls games, this one sort of like left my mind space quicker once I beat it, than any other.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
but part of
that's
that's just because of the familiarity. You're used to the experience. Like it's not as like
you already got to the chat.
like my first time playing Dark Souls 1 is gonna forever be etched into my mind just because.
Oh yeah.
It's such a. At that point, it was such a unique experience. Hell, Bloodborne is gonna be the exact same way.
I mean, they're all etched. These games do an incredible job of being having really memorable areas and level design. It's just,
and still has like some of the most satisfying just sense of exploration and finding secrets and like all that shit is just so good.
I feel the one issue I'm having with this game though is just so many troll messages more than any other Souls game I've ever played.
what are you gonna do?
Just so many. I know. It's just the problem is some of them are real, and I'm like I want to listen to that, but then some of them are complete fucking bullshit. I can't tell you how many fucking walls I've hit. That I
There are
knew
so
I knew
few
it wasn't an
secret walls
illusionary
in this
wall. I
game.
know.
I found my first secret wall in Dark Souls 2 where I literally just got it by walking against a wall and tapping A or X,
Yeah.
and then it was like I was like, oh, like,
Dude,
that
there's
was
a
simple.
room that has like 5 of those.
Oh, they're so satisfying. So satisfying. I really need to get on that and finish that though, because I am eager to get to Dark Souls 3. Is there anything else you wanted to say about it right now? I'm assuming you're going to keep playing.
Yeah,
this?
I'm gonna finish it before the end of the year, definitely, just so I can at least have it be a contender.
Yep.
But I'm really enjoying it. I'll say that it's got its flaws, but I'm liking it a lot.
Dude, is that the most common troll message where you're standing on like a cliff and it just says secret
Jump
ahead?
Yeah.
You're just
Try
like-
jumping or
Like 90% of the time, that's got to be bullshit. It's got to be.
Butthole.
But part of you wonders.
Yeah.
Part of you is like, I think I should step off this cliff right now.
Yeah, butthole has also become a big one too. Something
Butthole?
like BUT, and then hole, or because you can combine
Tongue
all the
in hole or
tongue,
whatever.
The
butthole.
fractured butthole.
Tongue butthole is a very common message in this game.
Oh. What are you supposed to do with that one?
Exactly what you think.
Oh, okay.
What the hell?
What?
That was Crispy been blocking.
Oh,
Crispy?
He was-
well, I mean, he did play Inside.
he was gonna say something else.
Oh, yeah, I guess you played Inside. I tuned all that out, so I didn't realize.
Yeah. I also played Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, how much of it?
Like
15
I don't know, a couple
minutes.
hours.
How are you liking Sunset Overdrive?
He doesn't have the air dash, so I bet he.
I don't have the air dash, so it is a little annoying.
It's
moving
awkward
around.
at first, right?
Like the game is so intent on getting you to grind everywhere. That,
You
like,
stick to everything.
There are moments where it's just like, why can't I just run?
And they'll start pointing arrows, like get on the rails.
Yeah, the game itself is just like jump on this thing to get in the air.
This is badass. Ride
Like,
this. Like,
yeah, it's just like for half a second, I just want to like not do that and just maybe walk somewhere. But the game's so intense.
I remember at E3 when we were playing it.
It makes sense though because like the shooting in the game isn't really that satisfying unless you're like on those rails moving around because of the hitboxes and
it's
the
cool
aim
guns though,
assist.
right? I remember.
Oh yeah, the guns are cool. Like the hitboxes and the aim assist in the game are just so like
Forgiving.
Bless you.
excuse me. Yeah, they're so forgiving that like running around on the ground and just like pop like trying to aim and like pop at people is like really annoying compared to just hitting a rail, gliding around, and just like swinging your gun and going bam, 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 and like 4 dudes dying.
You'll start getting
Um,
powerful. What do they call them? Like the power ups that are good enough to where you'd want to grind and shoot because it builds that combo meter or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to. Are either y'all planning on like seeing that game through to the end?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I would like
really
to.
am curious.
probably.
I have that
It's-
game. I just.
What do you think about the humor? Because I really wasn't feeling it early on, but it kind of
I mean,
starts to grow on you.
People like, I don't know. People get really sensitive about things that they perceive as being try hard, or
Yeah,
cringy
they do,
and shit.
no.
It doesn't like. I don't care. Like it's fine. It's working for the game for me so far. I think the visual style is interesting. I think it's definitely a fun game to look at. I'm making I did a female character. I'm trying to do like a punk rock Harley Quinn type
Sweet.
of character. So yeah, I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying the setting and the world, and I
just
mean
wanna see how
every single line is some kind of joke, and they don't all hit.
I just want to see
But-
how
But
far
yeah,
they
I
take all
mean,
those
who cares?
things. Oh man, look
Oh,
at that!
thank you, Zerby.
Zerby's just on a roll tonight. What's going on?
Yeah,
Zerby.
man, he's in a gift giving gaming. Maybe it's his birthday and
What
he's
a
Bilbo
generous
Baggins.
soul.
That's cool. Real quick, just this is something I wanted to briefly mention. I finished Quantum Break
Oh, nice.
finally.
How was it?
I do think you absolutely should play that game,
Got
whether you play it on Xbox or you wait and play it on PC. I think that coming to PC, or is that's already out on PC and that was a bad port.
What?
Oh,
Quantum
is
Break?
it?
I don't-
Is it on
I
Steam?
don't
Quantum
think
Break
it-
is on PC.
Yeah, I thought it
They've been improving the port with patches.
not-
Either way, I would highly recommend playing. You can
wasn't
borrow
great.
mine if you want. I think it's a game you should absolutely
That'd be
play.
awesome.
It was dangerously close to like you're playing a game, you're really fucking enjoying it, and then you get to the final boss, and you're like, why the fuck do you make decisions like this? Like
Yeah.
where the game, the
Like
experience
Doom?
all like the final boss almost. Like in some instances, can actually like
Since it's the last
ruin
part of
the
the game that
experience.
you touch and you didn't
Yeah.
like it, it kind of taints your
yeah.
whole.
But you know what?
that
Like
can
it what?
happen,
But
yeah.
like Doom.
what was the final boss in Doom? Oh yeah, see, it was kind of forgettable.
What was the final boss of Doom? It was fine.
I'm just taking it. Yeah,
No.
it was the classic Doom final boss. It was that
Spider fucking
brain.
thing.
Yeah, the brain
didn't have too
spider,
much
skull
trouble with
spider, whatever it is.
I actually
Spider
thought it
Overlord.
was
Spider
kind of
Mastermind.
challenging.
Mastermind. That's what
It was a cool boss fight. No, maybe not my favorite, but and this honestly, this boss fight in general, I wouldn't say was egregious. Do
Do you
like,
fight time itself?
No. It was just a boss fight where they don't fucking explain to you what's happening, like at all. But in this case, it really needed to.
Sounds
Yeah.
awful.
But once you figure it out, I got through it. But like I was getting ready to have a meltdown for about 10-15 minutes on that fight, and then I kind of just managed to pull it off. And like the game is fucking excellent, man. It's good, and obviously it's about time travel. There are going to be plot holes. And there's going to be plot devices. We discussed one of the plot devices last week that he literally wears, or some of the characters wear on their chests.
Yeah.
But it handles a story having to do with time travel more gracefully than most.
Cool.
And I think you would dig it.
I've been meaning to play some new shit, but I keep waiting for my day off. So I've been too lazy to go to the PO box because traffic and stuff when I get off work. But
No, I feel
I've just been playing more Odin Sphere. I did play quite a bit of that Quake episode that was made by Machine Games.
Yeah.
I forgot that I played that. I would have gotten some footage, but it just looks like Quake 1. It is really good, like Quake is. I do love me some Quake,
Quake.
and it's good. I wonder if Chris Davis played any of it.
He's about to find out. Nope. All right. Are there any other games we want to talk about, or should we go ahead and take a break? I'm going to take your silence as take a break.
Well, you barely paused, man.
Well, I played some Overwatch. I'd like to talk about that for about 30 minutes.
Still enjoying it.
Can I just ask who your main is right now?
I don't have a man.
Who's your most played? Who's your most played?
I played
Just
the
answer me.
team comp.
Most played.
I played a team comp.
Just fucking answer who.
Diva.
Okay,
probably.
your most played is Diva. You
Yes.
fucking dirty
How hard was
sniper
that,
whore.
Crispy? How hard?
Wait. No, Diva's the robot.
Diva's the giant bat girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
predictable.
Predictable. My name is Brad.
All right.
That was a pretty good, Brad.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have a couple news topics to cover, but for the most part, we're going to spend the second half of the show, aside from doing community and whatnot, we're gonna go over our individual top 5 games of the year so far. We usually do that about halfway through the year, and it's July officially, or it's almost July. So we're gonna cover our top 5 favorite games of the year so far. And then I also at the start of the next segment, I will announce the winner of our Mirror's Edge Catalyst giveaway. We did draw that, so I'll be announcing the winner, and we'll also announce the game we're giving away in July. So if you're listening, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a second. Hey guys, welcome back to the show.
Yo.
Before we get started in the second segment, because we're going to go over our top 5 games of the year thus far, because we have officially hit the halfway point of 2016. We've played a lot of stuff. We want to just we always do our top 10 at the end of the year, but we want to, we usually take this time right about in the middle, and we say what our top 5 of the year so far is. I think it's important to note that while I put my list in an order, that order is subject to change.
Yeah, mine
So
too.
no one's calling bullshit at the end of the year when my top 10 list contradicts what I'm saying here.
Of course.
Just saying. Just putting that out there because someone
Nice.
someone will do it.
Cover your bases. That's
Exactly.
smart.
Exactly. But before
I might not even like some of these games.
before we do that, I do want to quickly announce the winner of our first giveaway. We're doing monthly giveaways now. We're going to give away a game every single month to our community.
Woo!
That makes sense.
And we're giving in June we were giving away a copy of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I think it's important to note here that we're going to announce the winner now. I'm going to reach out to this person. They're going to have 48 hours to claim it, and if they don't, then we're going to redraw.
We're gonna
So
48 hours.
48
Clock
hours.
starts now.
So I'm not sure if this person is in chat at the moment, but as a quick reminder, all you have to do to enter the giveaway is do one of 3 things. You can retweet any of our podcast posts or tweets that go out when the show goes live. You can leave a comment on any of the posts related to our podcast, so we'll read them at the beginning of the next episode, or you can submit a quick read, in which case you can write a short article, 500 words or less, about anything gaming related you want, and we'll potentially feature it on the front page of the site. Whether you get featured or not, you'll still get entered in the drawing. So we had about 24 entries.
You got a pretty good chance to win a game, guys.
Yeah. First month, first new feature is only 24 people in the drawing this month. Hopefully we'll try and beat that next month. But essentially, there's 3 ways you can enter. You can get your name in up to 3 times. So some people had 2 entries in, so it gives them a better chance. So the winner of this month is Equinoxinator. Equinoxinator.
That's
Randomly chosen from the list.
Equinoxinator.
Rigged.
That was weak, Brad.
You
You're not even
You don't like it?
You're
wanna
not
do a
even
little
trying.
Equinoxinator.
So every time we
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Try it, Crispy.
Equinoxinator.
Equinoxinator.
Oh, can we do the robot arm
Yeah.
every time we do
Go to the robot arm.
Yeah. Equinoxinator.
Equinoxinator.
Yeah, I like this. This is sticking.
You're all the worst. Equinox. Why are people? This is how
Who, Nick? Who?
This is how drawings work, people.
Who won, Nick?
You enter. I pick one at random. That person wins. Equinoxinator is the
Who,
winner.
Nick?
Equinoxinator.
All right. Yeah.
Equinoxinator is the winner this month, so I'm going to reach out to him. That's a physical copy of Mirror's Edge Catalyst on your platform of choice. I will be reaching out to you if you have 24 hours to respond. Otherwise, we will draw a new name from the list until we have given away a copy of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. So congratulations, Equinoxinator. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's it. You got it. You got the arms.
Yeah.
Equinoxinator.
That one I think we should find a way to say as much as humanly possible, because that actually interrupts the physical flow of the show, because we have to stop and do the arms, which is great. So I'll be reaching out to that person. So it is July. July starts tomorrow. In which case the giveaway for July, we'll be announcing the winner at the end of July. But the drawing, or you can enter by starting tomorrow, or I guess on Saturday when the podcast goes live, is going to be a giveaway of Inside on PC on Steam. So
Inside, I heard that's pretty good. Actually, I didn't hear.
It's not bad.
Sorry. Inside was a game we talked about in the first segment of this show. We'll be giving away a copy of that on Steam at the end of the month. So, hey, look, I keep wanting to say,
There he is.
Equinoxinator. Look, there you go. Equinoxinator. I will be
Require oil.
I will be reaching out
is
to you after the
love?
show is over to arrange that and getting your copy of the game. So congratulations. Unless you don't want it, tell me right now, in which case I'll draw that person. But thank you for entering. Thank you to everyone who entered. We hope to have an even bigger pool next month and the month after that until, whatever. So we'll be giving away a copy of Inside on Steam at the end of July.
Slim pickings in July, but
July.
you're going to want to enter for August probably, because there's going to be Deus Ex.
I'm pretty
It's gonna be a
sure.
good game for August.
No
I
Man's
think it's going to be
Sky.
a pretty big game for August that we'll be giving away.
Allegedly a big game.
Cool. He's claiming it right there. I'll reach out to you after the show tonight after I get home, and we'll figure that out.
Incomprehensibly
Equinoxinator. So thank you for entering. Congratulations. So now we are going to do our top 5 games of 2016 so far. To answer your question, Equinoxinator. This is so fun.
You're doing it great, Nick. You're doing a great job.
Fun. I'm going to. I gotta look at the way you entered. However you enter, whether if you left a comment on the site, I might reach out to you through the site, or I might reach out to you via email. I have all that information. Yes, I will. I will find you, and I will give you a game.
And he will touch you.
What?
Okay, let's roll. Number 5.
All right, we're gonna go around the room. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in loose order. This is not final.
Loose 5.
Who's gonna start, Brad? I think
My number 5 could be my number 2 or 3 or 1. Who knows? But I technically haven't finished this game. But it's so far left a very significant impact on my gaming of 2016, and that is The Witness.
Cool.
It's just dope as fuck, man. I love those puzzles. I've unlocked enough lasers to go beat the game, but I'm still kind of meandering around trying
How
to
many
unlock
did you
other
need again?
puzzles.
Was it 7?
I think
or 9?
7
7
to
9,
beat the game, I think.
something like that.
think
But
I'm-
I'll get to it eventually. That's the way I've been playing games, is just kind of
Yeah.
a little bit
That
here
game
and
is
there.
great. It is not but that is a game that is, in my opinion, not defined by its ending. It's
Well,
the experience.
how
in and
many
of
games
it-
are? I mean, come on.
I know, but you will play the game, you will finish it, but when you look back on it, it is very clearly the experience, the point A to point B that you're going to think back. Nolan, what's your number 5 of the year so far?
Quickly off topic.
Damn you.
Because before this segment of the podcast, we were talking about games playing for a long time or whatever. Like Chris Davis has played like 300 hours a week or something like that. I couldn't remember what it was, and I finally looked it up because my friend Evan, I remember him playing a lot of WoW. But I couldn't remember how much, and according to Raptor, he's played 3,146 hours of WoW. And that's probably like a low estimate.
What does that actually equate to math-wise? Like days, months, years, whatever?
That was more what I was referring to, but I guess, hey. few hundred hours. Team Fortress 2, it's no different.
That is 131 days.
Jeez.
Fucking God.
Lightweight.
Yeah. So anyway, my number 5, loosely, for games of 2016. Was that to me?
No, it's
No,
Brad.
it's to you.
Oh, okay, that's
if
cool.
Crispy's-
Could've been to you,
if
too.
Crispy's middle finger is up, 99% of the time it's aimed at Brad.
Rude.
Is Stardew Valley.
That's a great game.
It is. It's something that I kind of saw and I was like, nah, I'm probably gonna like.
You know, I
that.
think George
Like-
caught the Stardew Valley bug. He was tweeting about it today.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
because he wasn't liking it.
He
for
wasn't
a
liking
while.
it. He said today he thinks it's gotten him.
Interesting. And so that's the kind of thing. Is I saw that like, I think I might like that. Maybe I shouldn't play it. And then Brad started playing, and I was like, I'll give it a try. And then I tried Brad's copy, and then Steam gave me the pop-up. By the way, Brad's playing a game now. You have 10 minutes to exit your game. So then I bought it. And then I played it.
That's when it happened.
I think I played like, I don't know how many hours. A lot.
Game is charming as fuck.
No,
It's
it is.
really
It definitely
good.
is. It's addictive. Just one more, because the game doesn't save any time. It saves at the end of a day when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
So you can't just I'm in the middle of the day. You have to finish that day, but then you wake up and then something happens. Then it's all of a sudden it's raining, and then it's today's the festival. I just got to do one more day. And that's kind of where one of the addictive qualities of the game sets in.
Yep.
And yeah, definitely a lot
there
of
are
fun.
many. Crispy, number 5.
My number 5 is an interesting little PC title called Pony Island.
Oh, Pony.
I've been
Island.
meaning
Still,
to
I
get
still
to
haven't
that.
played that one. It's on my
That
list.
game is fucking weird. I like it. It's not very long. I think I finished it in like...
I do love that highlight from George when he playing Pony Island.
I was playing Pony
Yeah,
What is Pony Island again?
Hey,
yeah.
you don't ask those kinds
That-
of
that's
questions
another
about
game
another
Pony
one of
where-
those three.
yeah.
You just play it. Yeah, Pony Island's fucking weird, and I don't really want to say much about it because if you haven't played it, you should check it out.
I'm gonna play it.
It features ponies.
The
Chris
game
Davis
does a really
says.
good job of fucking with you. I'll say that.
I like games that fuck with me.
That's what this game's all about.
Sweet. I guess we'll leave it at that then.
I'm gonna leave it at that because you shouldn't talk about it.
All right, my number 5 is Quantum Break, a game I finished a couple days ago,
Nice.
and it reaffirms my love for Remedy. I think, honestly, one of the better storytellers in the industry. They tell really interesting stories, and usually somehow wrapped in a shooter. Like, I don't think shooters are necessarily always the best, the best
Delivery
genre.
systems for stories,
Yeah,
yeah.
but they somehow find a way to make them really interesting.
Do you think you could find yourself addicted to this game, Nick?
I started thinking about my mud, and I'm feeling really weird right now.
Wait, what?
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 I started thinking about my mud, and I'm feeling really weird right now.
Started thinking about his mud, his multi-user dungeon that
Oh,
he used to play.
I was
Chaos
like,
Blade.
I have no idea what just happened. Anyways,
Getting the
I,
sweats.
like I said a few minutes ago when I was recommending the game to Crispy, I think Remedy handled a story that was potentially really easy to fuck up because it does have to do with time travel. I think time travel is like a really dangerous subject matter to try and tell in a story because you can
Time
fuck it
travel
up.
is really dangerous.
You can fuck it up real easy. Like,
really dangerous.
but they somehow managed to pull in a pretty good cast of actors to tell a pretty interesting story. They found a really interesting way to deliver that story because in the end, I think the live action thing actually paid off and worked pretty damn well in the end. I was just pretty surprised by it. It's like I hit a point around chapter 3 or so where I was like, this twisty turny shit is actually getting really interesting. Like kind of like when you hit stride in like a really good TV show, you're just like, I gotta see what the fuck happens. Like that kind of set in, and then I just plowed through to the end of it and ended up being really good. So Quantum Break is my number 5. Brad, what's your
What's
number,
up, homie?
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is a game I played a lot of. And I stopped playing, but my character's coming. I saw her, and she looks great. She looks good.
I have
she looks
no idea.
poppin'. Street Fighter 5, man. Street Fighter 5.
Who's your character again?
Oh, Jury. There's a Jury tease at the
I
end
know
of
Jury.
of a. You know Jury?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
for obvious reasons.
because she's Korean.
That's racist.
I don't. I'm trying to think of why.
She's attractive? I don't. What is going
She
on?
just
here?
looks nice.
There's lots of Jury cosplay.
Oh, I see.
It's the only reason I know who Jury is.
Okay. No. I mean, I had a great time playing Street Fighter V. I've always kind of struggled to get into Street Fighter, post Street Fighter 2, or even 2D fighters altogether. I've always been more of a 3D fighter guy. I played a lot of Tekken in my life. But this one is the most accessible Street Fighter game, since I think Street Fighter 2. And man, I just had a hell of a good time just kind of popping into it. My first love was Laura. But I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Tomorrow, Balrog and Ibuki come out, as well as that new story mode, which is kind of like, the Mortal Kombat story mode where they do like cutscenes and the gameplay and stuff. And it looks really cool. And then Jury's coming soon, and I can't wait. Hopefully they didn't make her a charge character or anything. Was she a charge character? I've never actually played as Jury because she was in Street Fighter 4 and I never played Street Fighter 4. But I always thought she looked cool. She like kicks fireballs. She looks cool as shit. I've always wanted to play as her.
She kicks fireballs.
Yeah, I've been looking for a new lady. The ladies that are in the game proper have not been doing it for me. Jury looks like a character you want to buy some costumes for, though. You know what I'm saying? Oh, is that Jury cosplay?
Yeah.
She does have weird
Pass
hair.
that phone.
Balrog does look sick.
Oh, this character, yeah.
She does look sick. He looks sick. They all look sick. Anyways, that's my number 4. I'll definitely be playing more of that tomorrow and more throughout the year because I had a really good time playing with you guys, for sure, and other random people on the internet.
There's a lot of
I just got to get
cosplay.
Carlos or Crispy over here, somebody who lives close during the day or whatever.
All right, my number 4 so far for this year is XCOM 2.
I forgot that game came out this year.
Yep,
Yeah,
it did.
It's really good.
It's one of those games where they made a lot of improvements over XCOM Enemy Unknown. A couple steps backwards, some interesting, questionable choices they made. But overall, it's a game that had a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah.
Playing with permadeath on, your soldiers die, whatever. And just being able to, doing all the research and finding fucking cool new weapons and just those clutch moments where you barely make it out alive. Like, just great fucking game. But then you get, I can't remember who my snipers were. I think it was Toast and Gamerbeck. They were fucking, unstoppable. At the end of the game, I had, my best, foot soldier had, he had, 20 kills or 30 kills, and Toast had, over 100.
Yeah.
It was, ridiculous how good snipers can end up getting.
It is really good, and I feel like it kind of... I wouldn't say
It's like
it
Dark
was
Souls
under the
3.
radar, but because it was PC only, a lot of people just kind of ignored it. But
definitely.
it's finally getting a console release,
Yep.
and I'm really hoping that a
Reinvigorate
lot of the
the
people
little-
who didn't play it the first time around pick it up this time.
I would like to.
Definitely.
I definitely would. I'd love to.
You should.
I would love to play the first one, I would love to play XCOM 2. My only hesitation is that I wasn't very good at the first one.
I think this
But
game...
then again, I wasn't very good at Dark Souls either when
eases
I
you
started.
in a
so-
little more. Well, I say that. The
Well,
first
that's
couple of
rough
matches
to
are pretty
start,
fucking
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. The first few matches are really fucking rough, but then it's a little better.
You have a little more freedom.
You can also play on the easier difficulties.
That's
There's
true.
4 or 5 different difficulty
That's true.
settings.
Well,
But I had no problem winning battles. My problem was the fucking world.
Winning the war.
The war kept fucking.
Yeah.
winning the war in this one's much less of a struggle.
You're
okay.
a Rob Stark in that way.
It's the problem with Nick. The problem,
Thanks.
and not to go too far, the problem with XCOM 1 was countries backing out.
Yeah.
And no, but that's not
That
as big
can't
of a
happen.
deal here.
I had 8 countries leave at once. or
This
something
one's kind
crazy.
of hey, there's this
They're just sitting
bar.
there like the EU, no, please don't leave.
And Nick, in this game,
Too soon.
there's a bar, and if the bar fills, shit hits the fan. But it's hey, do this, and the bar goes down. It's a lot more obvious how to keep things
It's
going.
telegraphed a little bit better.
Yeah.
Cool.
Man, has there been any Brexit XCOM parodies or anything?
Brexcom.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh God.
That would be a great GIF for I don't know, post on Twitter to get a few K retweets or some shit. Someone make it happen.
Crispy?
My number 4 is surprisingly, this is one we haven't talked about in a while. Inside.
Oh,
Wow.
you finished that today.
I finished it today and
You
was
finished it
like,
and it's only your number 4? I was excited
Well-
about this game.
Fuck you, Brett.
Your
Fuck
1 and 2 and
you!
3 better be pretty great.
It's really good.
His
It is.
his
I
1 through
went
3 are
back-
No Man's Sky.
I went back and looked through, everything that came out so far this year that I've played, and there was a lot of games on there that I wanted to put on this list. A lot of them I noticed were these kind of shorter, like artsy game experiences too, like Firewatch or Oxenfree, which aren't on my list.
Did you finish
I wanted
Oxenfree?
to. I did. I really
God,
liked it.
there's so many games this year I haven't
I
even
liked
touched.
Oxenfree. Oxenfree's cool. If you're looking for the next
Yeah, I played about
weird
probably half of it.
kind of time travel-y thing, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. It's kind of
Yeah, it's cool.
cool. But yeah, I mean, of all of those types of games, of all those types of games that I played this year, I think Inside is kind of just the most enrapturing, I should say.
Has the most sticking or staying power. Or
Yeah.
Sticks with you.
Well, yeah. I mean, I finished
Well,
it today, so
we'll see how.
I don't know, but yeah,
We'll
I
see what
don't
kind of
know.
legs it has.
It's really good.
Cool. My number 4 is actually Far Cry Primal. I think that game is going to fly under a lot of people's radars, or it's just going to get. I think it's going to get overlooked by a lot of people because they're going to look at it as like this weird spin-off of Far Cry and not like an actual entry in the franchise. Like kind of like almost in the same way I think a lot of people felt about Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
But I think the prehistoric setting was really, really cool. Like, the world felt a little bit alien in that sense, and it was beautiful. And I loved the language they created for these characters that you're playing, that you're communicating with and interacting with, because there was all the spoken dialogue was, you had no idea what the fuck they were actually saying.
Caveman gobbledygook.
Caveman gobbledygook. It was really cool, and just exploring that. There was a lot. Of course, it's a Far Cry game. There's a lot of fucking.
That was a heart gook.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
There was a lot of really cool shit. I mean, it's a Far Cry game, so you kind of know what to expect in terms of like how jam packed that world was. But they added a few new elements to it that made it really addicting, and just the fact that the world felt so different because of the setting they chose. I had a lot of fun. I played it for a good 50 hours, so it's up there for me. And you could fucking ride fucking saber-tooth tigers and
There
shit.
you go. Fuck.
My number 3
You could fly a fucking owl.
favorite game so far of 2016, loosely ordered, is I'm gonna go with Doom.
Ooh.
Doom.
Doom is
Back, baby.
Doom is back, baby. Doom is back. I knew it from the first footage I saw.
Classic Doom.
It's really good. It's good in ways that I really wasn't expecting. That I don't think anybody was expecting.
No.
I mean,
Well,
we all. I think
someone
we were
was expecting it.
Well,
Davis
we were
was
expecting it to
expecting
be fast and furious and bloody and
I mean,
it
no one
definitely
could have
was
seen that coming.
It was definitely more classic Doom in that regard than like Doom 3 or anything, but it was also classic Doom in ways that I don't think anybody was expecting, where it actually had really good level design and cool secrets, and finding all that stuff was really challenging and satisfying, and some meaningful progression systems as well. Like relics that you got and weapon upgrades that you got actually felt really powerful and meaningful, and you really wanted to get all that stuff that you couldn't have even known was in the game when you first saw it at QuakeCon. Dick. But yeah, it's really good. Everyone should play it. I think a lot of people. It's a lot more successful than I ever thought it would be. So I'm glad that that's happening, and I hope the best for the future of id, because that was definitely a studio that I could have seen this game coming out, kind of sucking, no one buying it, and id going away, which is would have been really fucking sad. And it's nice to see that wasn't the case, even though this new Quake game's probably going to be poop from a butt. But anyways, Doom number 3, go play it.
Poop in the butt.
No.
That's a better hashtag. Chris Davis wasn't wrong.
There you go. I will accept that hashtag. Chris Davis wasn't wrong.
Okay.
You gotta say it like that though.
My number 3 is The Witness. We've already talked about this a little bit.
Lines.
Not yeah, lines.
So many lines.
Not to like toot Jonathan Blow's horn.
You mean his cock. Blow his cock.
Yeah, not to blow his cock. His line cock. It's like a puzzle.
to
I wonder.
fillet him
I wonder if every time he has sex now, you have to like draw the line.
Oh no!
It's all I see when I look at his penis now.
Yeah, and then he just. everywhere. It was so like a lot of puzzles outside the box. A lot of like, oh my god, like those like eye-opening moments when like, and there's that one spoilery thing which I still won't say on the feed, but just when you first see it, like, oh my god, it's like you become like a beautiful mind. Slash like fucking number 23.
You know,
like,
Emily has played a lot of the Witnesses
Yeah.
as well, and she hasn't found that yet.
oh my god.
She still. I keep trying to like drop hints.
Yeah, you can't.
But
like,
I don't want to give it
anybody
away.
I talk to.
really, really hate that. Like, I didn't have that moment.
That sucks.
Like, I feel like my opinion of that game has suffered because of that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to. But then outside of that, like some of the way, like the fact that puzzles aren't just the puzzle on the stand.
Yeah.
It goes so beyond that.
Yeah.
And like it's just that I just thought the game was really creative. It sucks that all the shit that got thrown its way, and the fact that Jonathan Blow put all his money and worked on it for so long and blah blah blah. And I think people poo poo on the game a little too much.
Yeah.
Does it get a bad rap?
It gets some poo poo.
Yeah, because he's like, this guy is pretentious. Fuck him for having thoughts.
He's pretentious, sure, but he made a really fucking good game.
Fuck everyone. Fuck you.
He can be pretentious.
Yeah.
I mean, when you
He earned it.
yeah,
Fuck off.
Where's your witness? Where's the game you made that's fucking good?
This guy's extremely intelligent. How dare he?
All right,
Crispy.
Number 3.
My number 3.
Is any Batman game coming out this year?
Just you can't help yourself, can you, Brad?
I'm sorry. He was being mean to me earlier. Go ahead,
I
Chris.
was not being mean
Chris,
to you.
go ahead.
You were being mean to me.
Okay, all right, children.
Okay. My number 3 is XCOM 2.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
Did you finish that?
Fuck you. No, I haven't. I haven't actually finished it, but I put a lot of time into
I
it.
put
It's a great
XCOM
game.
1 into my top 10 the year it came out,
Yeah.
and I hadn't finished it.
It's, I
Fair
mean,
In fact, I was terrible at it, and I didn't make it very far.
I really like the changes to the metagame this time around. I love not having to necessarily deal with, like, the council countries.
Yeah.
And some of the new classes, like the, what's that one? Like, not
The Ranger with the sword?
Ranger? Yeah, with
Yeah,
the fucking...
dude. When you get
fucking love
when you
Rangers.
get the ability that if an enemy comes in your range, you just take a slash at him. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so fucking satisfying.
Everything is
You
so
just post
powerful in
them
this
up
game.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really, really good, well thought out sequel to XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Yep.
Cool. My number 3 is... Wait, we're in 3?
Yeah.
Yes, 3. My number 3 is Inside, a game I have not yet finished.
Wow.
But I was playing it last night, and the only reason I stopped was because I had to go to bed, and I really regret I should have just stayed up and said, fuck it. Because that game throws you into it at the very beginning, and the pacing is so on point. I think the pacing is damn near perfect in that game. And it's so hard to find a stopping point. It's so hard. And I think it's just one of the smartest and honestly one of the most beautiful games I've played this generation. Just in terms from an its art style is really unique. I didn't really follow the game too much before it came out. I was actually expecting it to boot it up and see that it looks a lot like Limbo, but it actually had I thought it was actually like a black and white game based on the screens that I had seen and whatnot. But I was really
Wait,
surprised.
it's not black and white?
There's some color, but it's a really striking game, and it's paced beautifully. Super amazing controls. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I said,
Cool.
Maybe we'll talk more about it after some time has passed, so people have some more time to play it. A lot of people can play it, and they absolutely should play it. And we're giving away a copy. Did I mention that? We're giving away a copy of the game this month.
That's interesting. How do I win one of those copies?
You go to this 4playernetwork.com/giveaways, and we'll have the details there. Anyways, what is your number 2?
My number 2, again, not in any real particular order, because all these games I really enjoyed, and games that didn't make my list I really fucking enjoyed too. It's like I can make a top 10.
This isn't finalized, Brad. This is just...
I can make a top 10 right now based on what I've played this year. That's how good it's been. But so far, my number 2 is Salt and Sanctuary.
Hey, that's my number 2 as well.
It's just dope as hell. Dark Souls 3 might not make my list here. When we get to number 1, who knows? But I'll say this, like, as much as Dark Souls as much as Dark Souls Salt and Sanctuary was aping, it still felt really fresh. You know,
it felt fresh also because it gave a lot of ideas that maybe the next Dark Souls games might steal.
Yeah.
Because it had a lot of innovative stuff in that game that I'm like, oh my god, like why has a Souls game never done this before?
Yeah.
It's the tree of skills, the skill tree, literal skill tree was fucking great.
Dude, there's a lot of games that I have a feeling that are just gonna take that Dark Souls formula and kind of run with it and maybe make some improvement. I think Neo has potential to be another one of those games.
The meter that lets you know if you have enough to level up.
Oh man,
like how that's fucking so nice.
It's so obvious.
Yeah, like it's like 'cause sometimes I'm out exploring. I'm like, wait, I really want to level up once. Do I have enough? Like I don't know. Let me kill a few more dudes. That kind of type thing. Like
I'm glad it was meaty. There's a lot of these types of Metroidvanias, and this does actually start introducing some Metroid elements.
It is.
But this one felt substantial and meaty, and there's a lot of like lighter game, like the Shantae games. They're nice, but they're like they feel shallow. This thing felt deep and substantial, and it was long as shit. And there was it was challenging, and there's actually some legit like tricky like platforming stuff, and just like memorable sequences in like a 2D game. You don't even really think about that.
I hope
kind of
I
stuff.
haven't fucked myself by waiting so long to go back to it because
I mean that's not possible.
You-
I mean you went back to Dark Souls and you loved it.
the only only
there's
way
just
you might
such a-
fuck yourself is just because the world is so goddamn big.
Yeah, it's really
just
hard.
hard to
But I mean,
remember.
you can fast travel, so you can
But
pull up the map.
I can't
and
remember what the
kinda
last thing I did in that game was.
killed something.
So start over. You've done it plenty of time with Dark Souls games.
I've done
Yeah.
too much.
Nah.
But yeah,
And the various character builds actually legit feel really different, you know, and
I
stuff.
wanted to
It's
play as
cool.
a chef.
So I did. I like once again. I'll restate that it is my number 2 as well. I played through the game twice, once with a dex build and once with a strength build.
You played the game twice?
Yeah. No, the second time was much quicker than the first one.
Yeah, of course.
Knowing what's going on, it goes pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's such a fucking good game. Like, the map is fucking huge. There's so many memorable areas. The being able to like set up each little like sanctuary with like choosing who you want to spawn there and stuff like that. With like if
It's a
you
nice
want to
touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just the different enemy designs. Some of the boss battles were so good. I really really liked it.
Yep.
Crispy, what's your number 2?
Number 2 is going to be Dark Souls 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because it's Dark Souls!
definitely.
I shouldn't have to explain this. We've talked so much about why Dark Souls is good.
Yep. That's
But Dark Souls 3 is
But is it better than Dark Souls 2?
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Is it better than Dark Souls 2?
It's better than Dark Souls 2?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I mean,
All right.
I don't know what you want from me.
fair enough.
That's a weird question. I mean,
I think it's fairly.
do you
common
do you
question.
feel like Dark Souls 2 gets an unfair rap?
Of
and,
course.
Like, you're just kind of championing it.
Oh no,
I think it gets an unfair rap.
No, I think it does too, but like
I'm not
I mean,
like
I still think the first Dark Souls was
as someone who's
better.
playing Dark Souls 2 right now,
sure.
like
do you think Dark Souls 2 is better than 3?
I think they're about in the same spot.
I mean, honestly, like the thing that separates Dark
I
Souls.
mean, there's no wrong answer.
The only
obviously.
real thing I think separates Dark Souls 1 and 2 in any meaningful way is just the way the world is built.
Sure.
And I think that might have
That's a pretty big factor. Yes.
it's a big factor, but having literally gone straight from Dark Souls 1 into Dark Souls 2 and instantly recognizing the
Yeah.
differences,
How they
I'm still having a
I still think
hell
the
of a
level
time.
design in Dark Souls 3 feels probably closer to 2 than 1, but it's in
Yeah.
between.
I can't speak too highly of that or speak too much to that because I've only played Dark Souls 3 for like 15 hours. I will say it's in between 2 and 1. It's a little more connected than 2 was, but it's not as connected as I would like it to be.
Still
And
really spread out.
Yeah, everybody's
since fast travel is open from the very beginning, like in 2, I feel like I'm not getting to know the world as much as I did in 1.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those like world diagrams somebody did?
Yeah.
Where it's like somebody laid out the basic design philosophy of how the worlds are made, and 1 was like a big ring of stuff interconnecting. 2 was like a
hub,
like
yeah.
a hub with like spokes coming out, and 3 was more like a line. It was like a tree. It was like a
Yeah.
line with like branches coming out, and like all the
and
branches.
sometimes
would
those
go.
branches would cross. Or
Yeah.
That's
That's
cool.
interesting.
I will say that I have already found several instances of, I open a door and it goes back to an area I couldn't get to. More than 2 had, just not as much as 1.
Yeah. Gotcha. My number 2 is a game we've already talked about, The Witness.
Nice.
That game is crazy good and
Crazy.
brilliant in all the right ways. Maybe a little pretentious, but it had style. It was so colorful. The world was so fun to just walk around and explore. And like I was like a kid in a candy store the entire time, just looking for puzzles everywhere. And a lot of times you're like, oh, that looks like it could be a puzzle. Holy shit, that's really a puzzle.
What?
Like that stuff is so cool.
What makes a game pretentious?
I think it's just the way when you do find like the audio logs and whatnot, and it's trying to like, when
the
it tries
game
to deliver
sniffs
meaning, and
its
you're
own
just
farts.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's very philosophical and maybe to a fault. But
Nick, you haven't seen the ending, have you?
yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I finished it.
The ending.
The ending is very.
Philosophy's like inherently pretentious.
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
Yeah, we all hate philosophy majors.
Yeah.
Those people suck.
Yeah, I took philosophy in college and
I
I
lived with
hated it. Anyways, that's my number 2. Brad, what's your number 1 game of the year
My number
so far?
1, again, could be any of these games.
Yes, we know.
Just missing my list. Dark Souls 3, Darkest Dungeon.
No,
XCOM 2.
Brad, shut the fuck up. No. Just say your number 1.
I wasn't going to list like 20 games.
Doesn't matter. Just say your number 1.
Brad has a really hard time committing.
Firewatch. Just kidding. It's not severed. It is.
Fuck you.
God damn it.
It is.
Can you fucking spit it out already?
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Yes.
Good
Y'all want to move on, so we're just.
No, I just
No, we
wanted
don't
you
want to move
I
on. We
to
wanted
get
you to say your number 1.
Yeah, we didn't.
So
we didn't ask for your.
you
6,
and
7, 8,
Malia
9,
were
and 10.
playing this game together.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time playing this game together.
How far did y'all get?
I don't know.
Did playing that as a couple impact your the way you
I don't think it's not that stressful of a game, really. It's
No,
more
but I
of
mean,
a-
like, playing it as a couple in like.
I think it made it. I
more
think it made it
enjoyable
more
experience.
fun, you know, because we kind of had our things that we focused on. I sort of took the reins, and
Did you ever have that moment where you called her from work and you were like, "Hey, I need you to like water the lawn," and she's like, "Which one?"
yeah, well,
Like the real one or
she
the
would
fake
definitely
one?
ask me questions a lot when I'd be working and she's at home playing because she didn't want to like mess anything up because she was afraid I'd freak out that she fucked up my farm.
Bernadette does that a lot too. She's like, I was afraid you're gonna get mad. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's what? Why would
And I was like,
get
no,
mad?
I don't care. It's a video game.
You're gonna hit me again.
Why didn't you feed the chickens?
I'm sorry.
No, she'd be the one getting mad at me if I didn't go like, you know, hug all the chickens. You know?
Hey, do you really
Wait,
hug
do you
the
actually-
chicken? Like,
Yeah.
You like pet them.
You like pet them or something.
Have you ever walked up to a chicken and just let it pet and had it let you pet it?
Yeah.
Really?
There's chickens like that.
Yeah.
Chickens.
Chickens that like hugs.
Chickens need.
I feel like you've
the art of
probably.
self-preservation.
I would
is
have
what they
thought,
need to do.
Nick, that you would have petted your fair share of cocks in your lifetime.
Wow.
I walked right into that one.
With open arms.
I do really like Darkest Dungeon. I just didn't finish it.
Shut up, Brad. I'm gonna kill you.
Nolan, what's your number 1?
All right, my number 1 so far of 2016 is Uncharted 4.
Yep.
Oh,
Or-
fuck. I didn't even write that one down.
Really?
That was also an honorable mention for me.
I gotta move around my entire list.
For very obvious reasons, I've always been a fan of the Uncharted series.
I'll go ahead and say it right now. My number 1 is also Uncharted 4.
I
I played that.
thought I really enjoyed this game. I played through it 3 times.
I did not do that.
I thought it was a great way to end the series, if that's
Why
how
do you put that in quotes?
because they're like, oh, it's the last game, but they said that about 3 too.
But it's called A Thief's End.
Well, they said Metal Gear Solid 2 was the last Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
anything
this,
could happen.
If this were to be the last game in the series, I'd be fine with it. If they wanted to make another one some way, I would also be fine with that. Just because I loved it. I thought.
I think you know what this feels like more than anything. It feels like, you know, what if it's not truly over. It feels like they've put it on a bookshelf and they're like, we'll come back to you in like a decade, and I'd be okay with that.
I really like the story. I don't want to say too
so
much.
many fucking good moments
There's a lot of great set
in
pieces.
Uncharted 4. I'm not even, like, half the moments that pop into my head when I think about Uncharted 4 aren't even set pieces.
Yeah.
They're like Chapter 3 is one of the most incredible pieces of interactive fiction I've ever played. Which, and also, it's a little pretentious, okay? It's a little pretentious in how it's presented.
It is.
But goddamn, is it fucking good.
It's good.
It's so good.
It is good.
The character development is incredible. The acting is fucking incredible.
And it's
The
one of
story
those
itself
things
is
where
incredible.
we've talked about recently how Bernadette gets upset when I predict things. There was a couple of things I predicted in this game that didn't happen, which I was really glad because
See, that's how it feels to be the rest of the world, Nolan.
because
feel?
I was like, I'm pretty sure this is gonna happen. It didn't. I'm like, well, I'm glad that didn't then because it threw me for a loop. So yeah.
Yep.
You thought Chloe was going to turn into one of those plant creatures.
Yep.
What?
What?
I didn't want to spoil anything.
Plant creatures?
Sorry.
Crispy.
My number one game so far this year is No Man's Sky. That was a joke.
Just kidding. It's
Well done.
Overwatch.
I wonder what it is. We know.
Okay.
Wait,
It's,
is it?
Go ahead, move on.
Oxen
No.
free.
It's Oxenfree. No, although Oxenfree was good. It's Firewatch.
Fire-
No, but Firewatch was
It's
pretty
not
good.
fucking Firewatch. It's the other watch. Just say it.
It was
Battleborn.
Hyperlight Drifter. No, but that was pretty good.
Battleborn. Hey, it's not Battleborn.
It was-
Battleborn's nobody's number one.
It was Battleborn. No, but
God.
Battleborn was pretty good.
God damn it.
It was
it?
Overwatch.
Is
It was Overwatch.
It is Overwatch.
Okay.
You're still playing Overwatch.
I am still playing a lot
Still
of Overwatch.
Balls deep in Overwatch.
In fact, my news article, my news story this week is Overwatch related.
Oh yeah, we still gotta do news.
Yep.
All right, why
Still doing news.
don't we roll right into news then
Okay, so
with your Overwatch news?
What's
the
your number
latest, The latest
Uncharted.
update for Overwatch included a working basketball hoop.
What?
Wait, a working basketball hoop?
Yeah, so
What is
okay.
a non-functioning basketball hoop?
on the single point capture maps, you start the mission. Both teams start the mission in a an Overwatch like airship,
Yeah.
and it's got a lot of stuff in there, like a little table and the shit, right? And there's a basketball hoop, like on the wall in the ship, and one of the tables has a basketball sitting on it. And since the beta, like, or probably even before that, people have been, like going up to the ball and like meleeing it or like shooting it or like doing things to try to like shoot it into the hoop. Used to be really difficult to do. They changed the physics on it when the game launched, so it was easier to do, but it used to be when you get it in the hoop, it just didn't do anything. Now, if you get the basketball in the hoop, it shoots out confetti and plays music.
Nice.
It's like
But
like
they
Halo.
also made it harder to do now. Like if you touch the ball, it just like bounces around the fucking.
It's
cabin
like in
crazy.
Halo when you shoot the
Like Grunt Birthday Party.
Yeah, it's like
When
Grunt
you shoot
Birthday
the
Party.
grunts
Yeah.
in the head. Yeah, it's like that. It's great. So this is something that I've been waiting for a while now. So I'm really excited to go home and try to get that basketball in the hoop over and over again while my team is losing.
When do we get the update where Widowmaker sits on balloons until they pop?
Okay.
Brad has very specific appetites.
Yep.
That came out of nowhere. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think I got that from United States of Terra,
Okay.
where the daughter would sit on balloons on the internet
Oh,
for the internet's
For the-
pleasure.
I'm not aware of this.
I'd be interested to check that out.
She'd wear like hot pants and stuff. It was actually a pretty
Hot
interesting
pants,
story
dude.
arc.
Yeah, it was an interesting story arc.
I learned about hot pants from Mission Hill.
Maybe they weren't hot pants. I don't actually know the
Mission
names
Hill?
of female garments. I'm sorry.
What exactly are
Ryan
hot
was
pants?
saying-
I have no idea.
Can someone tell me what hot pants truly are? Like, what defines hot pants?
They're very
That's what I
short
thought.
shorts. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I
Like
mean,
where the butt cheeks
They're
hang out the
very
bottom.
tight.
Usually.
short
Oh, it's like my
shorts.
favorite pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna show you a gif of Brie Larson sitting on a balloon, and you will not be mad at me anymore.
I'll just be over here
I don't
googling.
think
this.
anyone's mad at you. I think we're just.
Okay. I know what I refer to those as short shorts. I didn't know hot pants was a name for them. I will start referring to them as hot pants.
They're
since
referred
that's
to
the
as
new
hot
thing.
pantsu.
They're like
Hatu Bansu.
It
And
turns
if they're
out,
made of Devon.
as it turns
if they're
out,
made
hot
of
pants-
denim, they're Daisy Dukes.
as it turns out, hot pants are one of my favorite things.
There you go.
So, anyways, thank you, Crispy, for your insightful Overwatch news.
Thanks.
I just wanted to quickly bring up that they finally confirmed the Bioshock collection is coming out.
Yup.
That the game that's leaked like 50 times.
Oh wow, that was real. They're
That's
actually
real.
doing that?
It's gonna have Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite, along with the DLC for both. The only thing is it doesn't include the multiplayer for Bioshock 2, which kind of sucks. But I didn't really play the multiplayer, so whatever. But it has all the DLC. It has some cool special features. It seems like. I'm a little worried just because it's another one of those cases where like the publisher had like another studio work on the remaster, so you never quite know how those are going to turn out. I really hope it turns out well because I would love to have all three of those games running 60 frames a second with all the DLC and everything in one spot. That would be really cool. I would consider going back and playing a couple of those again. But that's coming out in...
when you say a couple of those, you mean not Infinite, right?
I love Infinite.
Okay.
I love Infinite. In fact, I've played Bioshock 1 more than I've played Bioshock 2 or Infinite. So I'd probably, if I was to replay any of them, I'd probably want to replay 2 and Infinite.
There you go.
I've played Bioshock 1 like 2 or 3 times.
We can replay the excellent one.
Well, I've replayed the excellent one several times.
Okay, fair enough.
I also want to replay Minerva's Den, which
What?
comes on the disc.
Murder.
What did I say?
Minerva then.
I want to replay
learn to
Minerva's
talk.
Den. God damn you
Mumbler's
guys.
Den.
Hi. You're making me
That's
self-conscious.
like 5 or 6.
All right. Is there any other news topics?
No.
By the way, that remake is coming out this year, or the
Don't call it a
collection-
remake.
Sorry, remaster collection is coming out this year. I think in August. I can't remember. Anyways, or actually maybe it's October. I don't fucking remember. It's coming out this year though in a couple months. Nolan,
What's up?
take it away.
With the community. The
Equinox. Wait, what was it? Like
Equinoxinator.
Equinoxinator.
This is everybody's favorite part of the show because it's all about your community who we love so much. and
Please tell me
who
Equinoxinator has a question this week.
also loves us. First of all, no new patrons this week.
Oh, we're dying.
No, we're not dying. Just no new patrons.
Okay.
We just can't pay our taxes.
Sure. It's not July yet, but it will be very soon. So we have a new supporter of the month.
Mere hours.
Yep. For the month of July. That is Shaggy Valentine
Shaggy Valentine.
Shaggy Valentine, congratulations, subscriber of the month.
from the small
wait.
town of Austin, Texas.
Really?
What?
Austin, yep.
Oh man, is this Chris Davis's dad again?
Never heard of it.
No.
Someone lives in Austin? We've never met this person?
Yep. The game we are going to be playing for them all this month is WarioWare.
That's going to be...
WarioWare.
We're planning getting together to play
Which
that,
one?
right?
Definitely. We might play multiple. They didn't.
I'll definitely be playing the OG, but we're gonna be playing one of the
Smooth Moves,
multiplayer
maybe?
smooth moves together.
It's a good multiplayer. So that's exciting news. Urban Hitman was our supporter of the month. Technically is for a few more hours. Supporter of the month for June. Crispy and I played his game.
That's fun?
Quite a bit. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, Don't Starve Together. Well, Don't Starve is a fantastic game. I've probably broadcasted close to 20 hours of it, but Don't Starve Together?
So good.
That's the tops.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
it's
that to come out
pretty
on
good.
PS4 so I can play with the loved one.
Just didn't want to say fiance. You didn't want to say it wrong.
Fiance.
All right. Anyway, and so time for some questions from our patrons.
Oh, I love questions.
Oh, I do love too.
Why can't I find Brie Larson sitting on a balloon?
I don't know.
Just look it up on a video or something.
Yep.
Sorry. My Googly's not working.
Alrighty. First question this week from Arxidus. After playing a bit of Vampire the Masquerade and seeing Vampire on the horizon, I was curious, out of all the different iterations of vampires in movies, TV, books, comics, or video games, which are your favorites?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
The ones that sparkle.
You know, it depends on what kind of vampire you're looking for. Because I always... Like, Blade 2 is a really good movie.
Wow.
The vampires in Blade 2, like the super vampires, whatever the fuck they are, the Guillermo del Toro vampires that are
the vampires
that are straight up like.
Oh, wait, are we
copied.
talking about like best vampire movies?
No, just
No,
best
just best
vampire, just best
vampires
interpretation.
in
But I
general.
will say,
Kiefer Sutherland.
being a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, it's kind of hard for me to not say.
Oh, but they have the dumb faces.
Yeah,
I always liked the faces. The thing they would
I
do.
just-
Interesting.
Wait, and which one's in Buffy? When they get all like
And when they're-
scowly?
Well,
Yeah,
their
they
face,
look monster.
It's supposed to show like they have a
I know,
demon in them and shit.
evil demons.
I always thought I always thought it was pretty.
That's
lame.
what that means.
That's why you gotta take
I like that.
take the you gotta take the approach of what's it called? Vampire the
Masquerade Bloodlines?
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade, where they just have like a bunch of different types of vampires.
Yeah. You got them all.
Or just do like they do in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah,
Those
those are some good
vampires.
fucking
that
vampires.
was gonna be what I was just gonna say.
Uh,
I was gonna ask Nick if he liked eating worms.
Also, let the right one in.
Yeah, dude, let the right one in. I watched
Do you
that
like
for the first time
biscotti?
last year.
Really?
Like the
Biscotti?
original.
Oh, last year. I thought you were gonna say like
When you become a
this past
vampire, you
weekend.
become very
Sexy. Dude, that I've
I fucking love that
since
movie.
we've watched that movie at like 2 a.m.
Oh.
at PAX South. I think I've seen it like 4 or 5 more times.
Dude,
yeah.
30 Days of Night had really fucking creepy vampires.
I forgot about that.
That's a
I
fucked up movie.
actually did not care for that movie, and I read the comic book beforehand, and I didn't like the comic either.
comic?
So I don't know why I thought.
I'm not saying the movie. I'm
No,
saying
I know.
the
I know.
interpretation
I know.
of vampires.
That was a cool idea. That was
fucking creepy.
It is a really neat, like, high concept idea for a vampire story. I just don't like the way it goes.
What about
I don't know.
My favorite vampire was
Okay.
Words, Brad. Words.
What?
the
Witcher?
interview with the vampire.
Oh.
Oh,
When the
Interview with
little
Vampire.
girl died.
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst, she
Yeah.
burned in hell. Spoiler warning.
Okay.
That doesn't really answer the
Damn.
question.
Yeah. I was also going to say from the Witcher books, I didn't realize, at least in that universe, how many
That's
different
a
types of
good
vampires there are.
vampire, yeah.
Like the lesser vampires.
Yeah,
or
and
like
then you get to the higher vampires, and they're much more, complex. You have your Nosferatu style vampire, whatever. But I mean, just learning about all these different types of vampires and how they interact with each other, and how how the legends start. Well, they don't like garlic, and so all the people wear garlic, and the vampire shows up, and he's thanks for seasoning yourself, and then just like eats them all because that's all bullshit. What?
No, my favorite is My Best Friend's a Vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it's called? Is that what that
I know
movie's
what
called?
you're talking about.
I think it's Sean Leonard, Robert Sean Leonard. Is he the vampire?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called
Wait.
though.
I feel like there's like a really obvious one that that hasn't been mentioned yet. and I'm trying to
Probably.
remember what-
I think
trying
that's
to-
the one.
I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, Robert Sean
Blackula.
Leonard.
There you go.
Robert Sean.
That was it, of course. Now, I would say The Strain, except The Strain is literally, I mean, it is based on a Guillermo del Toro book, but it's straight up the super vampires from Blade 2 that I mentioned. The Strain is straight up those vampires.
Bad
Shogun.
fight. Bad fight.
Bad fight, yes.
All right. Moving on. Next question from Michael M. How many 7-year-olds do you think you could take in a fight at once?
7-year-olds, all of them.
That's what I was gonna say. That was my answer.
Every
All of them.
single one.
world
Fucking, I beat the shit out of
They
some
would just
7-year-olds.
dog-pile you.
No. Are you?
Are you saying every 7-year-old in the world?
They would be punched in the face and on the ground long before they could get
Do you
close
know
to me.
how many 7-year-olds exist in the world?
I
at
would
once?
spin
They
around
are-
with my fist
they are
out.
kind of-
7-year-olds suck,
They're
man.
kind of babies. Like if you like flick them,
Yeah.
they're like, "Eh."
I just start kicking them.
Is this really the conversation we're having right now?
I could beat up so many.
Yeah, but could you beat
It'd
up all of
probably
them?
be like they would have to be 50 of them running at me at the same
Do you
time.
know how many
from
7-year-olds
different
are on the
directions.
planet?
Man, I
There
beat
are
It'd
more
be
than
like-
50. I'm gonna
It would be
tell
like
you that.
Battle of the Bastards. You just get like buried in
All right, moving on. Next question from Nathan M.
I'd scare the rest off.
If you could recolor any fruit except oranges, which fruit would you recolor and to what?
Bananas, blue. Blue bananas.
Blue bananas.
Would they taste like blue raspberry?
No, they would just taste like bananas.
But blue.
They'd be blue.
This is a weird question, by
So
the way.
the peel would be like a darker, like royal blue, where the banana flesh itself
Like
would
sky
be
blue.
well, not like a sky blue, but I'm thinking more of like a lighter, like kind of
Airy blue.
midnight powdery blue.
Red broccoli. Wait, that's not a fruit. You said fruit.
Also, that probably
What's a
exists.
fruit? Probably.
I would
Well,
turn
that-
a
fucking,
tomato
like-
from red to like green and never red because fuck you.
tomatoes are
It's
already
not even a fruit.
They start green. I was just trying to think of like fruits and vegetables. I wasn't thinking fruits. Hold on.
Not how the question works, Nolan.
What about? Oh my God, what's a fruit? Um,
Some do with the seeds.
I was like apples. No, there's like 1,000
No.
colors of apples.
Take a watermelon and invert the colors so that the
That'd be
inside is green and
interesting.
the outside is pink.
Yeah.
How about
There we go.
flesh-colored peach?
God damn it.
Oh, that would
Do
be
you
great.
remember when
They're already
when,
kind of
when,
flesh color.
when like pinkish crayons were skin?
What?
Oh yeah,
Like,
they used to be flesh.
Is that
colored.
really?
yeah.
Oh yeah, like until a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
until like the late 2000s.
How did
like
I
the late
somehow
20
miss
aughts.
this?
Yeah, this isn't
For-
something that went away a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just says normal human on the side of it. and
Ignorant.
it was a Caucasian.
They've since changed
it does. It does.
They've
say
since
that.
changed the name to ignorance.
I don't know. Maybe like a blue strawberry.
Whoa.
I feel like if I was gonna recolor strawberries, I'd color them yellow,
Whoa.
There are yellow strawberries though, right? Probably.
I don't
like
know.
Bad
bright yellow
strawberries.
strawberries.
Like glowing.
What about orange
Like
strawberries?
right.
I would make all raspberries in the world clear, so you can't see them. Can't see them.
You don't like raspberries?
No, raspberries are great, but like
Oh.
everyone would be like, "I want raspberries." Oh no, where'd the raspberries go? I can't see them.
I'd make all the raspberries look like snozberries.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
Next question from Vandal. Donald Trump has decided
Oh,
that
God.
to help fund his campaign further, he's going to make the scummiest, most addictive game possible that will suck a player's cash dry. And he's asked 4PP for help making it. Which one of you can come up with the most trashy feature to add to this terrible despot?
Despot.
Despot? Despot?
Like,
I'm not
he's a-
familiar with the
he's a
term
despot.
despot.
Wait, let me.
New word of the day. despot.
D-E-S-P-O-T. A despot?
Yeah, but that's like something you would call
This terrible despot of a game. That's what he said.
Yeah, okay. I guess so.
I think this is. I think
guess you can say that.
this is assuming that we would accept his invitation to help.
The winner will receive 1,000 Trump bucks, usable only at Trump University. Oh my God! Isn't that gone now?
You know what the trashiest feature for a game is? Having to pay to play it.
What?
Oh man.
It's like paid DLC, but it's the whole game.
Loot boxes.
Boxes.
Yeah, that's
essentially paid.
Weak
yeah.
guys, come on. Dig
I'm
deep
thinking-
into the trashiest part of your soul.
How? Okay, more
What if you-
specifically,
what if you-
loot boxes where you get random shit for characters you don't even care about.
What if it was like a Dark Souls style game, but you couldn't find health items in the world? You had to buy them.
Oh.
You had to buy them with money.
That would be an interesting concept. A game where you can't ever heal, or if you it's almost like an arcade game. Like you have to pay to keep playing if you die.
I would make a game where you had to fucking prove your race before it lets you play it.
Jesus, Nick.
That's you talk about you want to go fucking.
We're talking about what Donald Trump would do, not what you would do.
Nick,
That's the
Nick
question.
knows his target audience.
That's the question. That's what Trump would do.
You have to stick
to scan your
penis
birth
in a
certificate?
device for it
You have to
recognize.
mail in your birth certificate proving that you were born. You were of.
Oh my God.
That is the nature of the question.
It'd be like Ticket to Ride, but with like walls and Mexicans or something.
Like Chutes and Ladders, but
Yeah.
walls and Mexicans.
Yeah.
You got to build up the walls before. Oh my God. Okay.
Yep, I finished that
Stop
question
in
real
there.
quick. Make it trashier than
Stop
that.
in
I
there.
dare you.
I'm done with this one.
Moving on. Next question from Nick the Batman. How did your parents respond to your passion for video games growing up? Do they know about 4Player Network now?
I feel like we answered this question recently.
Maybe.
My parents know about 4Player Network.
They don't know what video
They
games
have
are.
just recently started to actually use the word podcast correctly, even though I don't think they actually
like it's a word.
like they say you just go do your podcast. Like, okay, that's
But they'll say that when you broadcast.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole first year of 4PP, first couple of years, People were like, so when's the podcast? When they were talking about the broadcast.
Yeah.
That's the worst. That's the fucking worst.
Man, people
People in
didn't-
their ignorance.
Yeah, stupids.
My parents
What about growing
cared about
up?
me playing video games all the way up to the point where they realized they couldn't do shit about it.
Oh,
So,
they didn't like you playing video games? They're older.
Is that the
mean-
question?
I mean,
What is it? How do your parents respond to your passion for video games growing up?
I don't think they realized it was a passion until it was too late. And at that point, they were just like, he's got a passion.
We've lost him. We've lost
He's
him
got
to
a
the
passion.
games.
He's one of those nerds now.
God, my parents fucking
Please, Nick, just
despise
sleep
it.
with this hooker. Please stop playing games.
That's kind of how my parents were.
he's lost his virginity?
My dad was one of those like my parents were still like relatively young when like Atari and stuff were coming out, so it was like a novelty to them. They're like, whoa, this is great. So like I remember when I was a kid, my parents, like I was really young and my parents bought a NES system just to have it because they thought this is great. And like when my dad brought home our first PC, like he bought games and was like, check this out, it's called Wolfenstein, and like we were playing Wolfenstein together and stuff. So they have no right to complain.
And
Well, how do they
Your
feel
mom.
now?
How do they feel now?
well, his mom donated to when we were doing Project
Yeah, they
M,
are.
man.
They are supportive.
They are very
They are-
supportive.
They're just whatever.
So my dad wasn't really ever into like video games or the thought of them. He does occasionally play Tiger Woods on his computer. But then my mom was the one who actually got me into video games because like when I was like 8 or something, I woke up Christmas morning and she had bought a Super NES for me. And she was like, yep, and that was my first like console. And she continued to, so I appreciate that she never poo-pooed on video games. I mean, if I played them too much, she'd be like, maybe do your
Yeah, I
homework.
think my mom was. I mean, my parents were the same
Yeah.
way. Like,
But she was always very receptive to them, and even like I said, there was times where she would just go out and buy a random game for me.
she'd be like,
even without my like
you should go
input.
play outside for a while. But she would still get me like games for Christmas and
Yeah.
be like, have fun.
And even to this day, like my mom,
away.
she understands that I like games, and
Don't
she
talk to me for a while.
She tweets at 4Player Network
yeah.
from time to time.
Yeah, she does. Remember that one time we were
Yeah.
we were at your
engagement party.
And his mom tweeted at the 4Player account. She's like, "Look, check out who's at the wherever we were."
Yeah.
And she took the
Like a creep shot?
Yeah.
took a picture of
all
us
of
sitting
us,
around,
all of us standing.
We're
yeah.
all holding beers in there, talking in a circle, talking to each other. And she's like, "Look who I saw at the thing," and I was like, "Oh my god, who is this?" And I was looking around, and I was like, "Nolan, what the fuck?" And he's like, "That's my mom," and I was like, "Oh." I was like, "There is a creeper here."
Yeah.
I seriously don't think my mother has ever played a second of any video game.
My parents
whether it
haven't
be
either.
like a system, a
Not even
phone, a
like-
computer, in her life.
Like a Facebook game?
No, she
no,
has.
I don't think she
Dude, my
ever
mom
has.
We
plays
talked about
Facebook
it when we were at
games
your parents'
all the
house.
time.
What did she say?
I think I remember. I thought I remember her
No,
saying
that was probably my
something.
dad.
It might have been your dad. Yeah, no, it was your dad then. My mom used to. She.
I don't
my-
think she can name a video
My
game.
mom tried so hard
I'm
at
serious.
Diddy Kong Racing. She tried the controller. It wasn't a Wii controller though. Like you couldn't do this, and that's what she would do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think my parents have ever played a second of a video game in their life. In fact, I don't even think they understand it or fully understand what they're looking at when they see me playing it.
Yeah, my parents think they're evil.
My parents don't think they're evil.
That's
They
why
still
my
think
mom
they're
wouldn't
evil?
let me play Magic the Gathering when I was younger.
Fucking
Devil
the
worship.
devil.
Anyway, next question this week from
That's
All
why
your
they
wonderful
changed.
friends you've met because of video
from
games.
That shit's-
ZR by.
Is it Zorba?
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's obviously clear that music has been an important part in gaming. Some franchises have defining scores or little beats that are identified easily, even non-gamers. Just think about any Nintendo game. Some other simply have great tracks. Some have odd in between. Assassin's Creed, for example, doesn't have a series icon main theme. However, it's clear that Ezio's theme is the most recognizable strand of music in the series that is used the most, but not ever really established as a main theme of the franchise. Should Ubisoft simply do this? Should any company do this? An example of a series doing this with the Elder Scrolls, Arena and Daggerfall have their own theme, but after Morrowind, the theme became an established piece in the franchise. Mass Effect did this as well from the second game on. Essentially saying there's a song or something in a game that's used for one thing, and eventually that series like kind of just takes it. Like if you think of like Like Skyrim, like the main theme of Skyrim, that's not from Skyrim. That's from, I think, like, either Daggerfall or it's Morrowind. That's what it was. And so that's the question is, should a game take a song or a piece of music that becomes iconic and just kind of claim that as something new?
I mean, if a game finds its iconic theme, I mean, sometimes that can be tough to
If
find.
something resonates with fans,
Stick with
it
it.
totally makes sense.
It's the nostalgia factor. Like, even if it was originally used for something else, it still brings you
you guys
back.
always joke about that Moby song, but
We're talking about it.
you know what that is.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think everybody tries to do that.
But then, like, some
But it
games
doesn't
don't-
always hook.
But then some games
you know?
don't have any like iconic like music that is iconic or like I think of Grand Theft Auto. There's not an iconic
Well,
song.
I mean,
No,
there's
no,
about the
but
license stuff.
Yeah, there's
though.
some original
But that
stuff in
game
there,
is
but
always-
most of that is licensed
That
music.
game's always
Yeah.
been built around its licensing.
But I mean, in that regard, some of that stuff really it captures you in the moment. But I don't know if that's the same as here because they're never going to bring, they're not going to bring a flock of seagulls into the next GTA game. That was
Sure, but like
pretty
you said,
much
like
just
not
Vice
everything
City.
in GTA is licensed. There's some
Yeah.
original music in there.
It really just depends. I mean,
It happened with
You-
Legend of Zelda, where I think the overworld theme from the original game kind of became the series theme, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with developers identifying something that resonates with fans and latching onto it. I think that should evolve over time a little bit. That's all. It's always cool to hear something
I think it
familiar,
always
but
does. Yeah, like it just the Mario theme has always kind of been there, and it's just expanding on it and making it fit the particular game you're playing
Yeah.
because it might have a different like tone. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Good question.
interesting,
Yeah.
both specific.
Final question for the evening from Further Saturn. I've noticed Spotify has podcasts now. Are there any plans to get in on some of that Spotify?
I can answer that. Yes.
We are already on Spotify.
No, we're not on Spotify. But there are 2 or 3 other avenues of distributing the podcast that I have my eye on, and we're going to start working on. It's something that I was kind of waiting. There's actually several things podcast related that we have to do soon. One of which is going to be expanding to other.
Don't do that with soda, Brad.
I do that with soda.
Don't do that with soda.
Don't do that with anything. God, I hate.
It always reminds me of the
I can't help it.
Simpsons.
You're
I
just
can't help
spreading around the cavities.
Hey,
It's
I haven't finished answering the
sugar-free,
question.
calorie-free.
All right.
I haven't finished answering the question.
Sorry.
yet.
Keep
Point
going,
is,
Nick. Spotify.
there are 2 or 3 other avenues of distributing the podcast that we are looking into, and it's something I was kind of waiting until after we finished the new website because we were working on that for a couple months prior to E3. So now that we've launched that, it's on my list of things to do. I just got to see exactly what all is involved. The first thing we have to do, though, honestly, is we're going to be kind of trying to take back control of our main iTunes account, which kind of sucks. The process we have to go through for that kind of sucks. We're going to need y'all's help because we're essentially going to have to transition to
I thought we already did that.
no,
No,
because
we've
I
not.
haven't done it yet because it's
It's
really
scary.
do it. It's scary because we literally have to basically
Probably make a video.
yeah, we probably should make a video. We literally have to move to a new account and then transfer all of our existing subscribers, which means we lose all of our reviews, which means we need you guys to go in there and leave some new reviews. But we don't have a whole lot of control over it, so we need to do that. And when I do that, I'm also going to be taking that and then using that to update Spotify. I think we're going to get on Google Play as well. Couple different avenues. So
Also,
we're also going to start putting them on CD with a carrier pigeon. Yes. Exactly.
also, Final Fantasy had a main theme, but the Prelude actually became kind of like the series' main theme.
Yeah.
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 Wasn't that the crystal?
The
something?
crystal theme?
Yeah.
Or crystal.
Or did it become that?
Well, I
after?
mean, I guess they just call it the Prelude now.
Yeah.
But yeah. That was not actually the main theme of Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah. All right, and that's all the questions for tonight. Thanks to all of our patrons for their questions. Any patrons out there, you have a question, just leave it on the thread on the Patreon page.
And quick reminder, podcasts are on Thursday now. Mm-hmm. You can tell because you're watching this, and it's Thursday.
Or you're listening to it and it's Saturday, and we recorded this on a Thursday.
Exactly. Which we're going to do again next week.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I also won't be here next week, unfortunately.
That's true.
So I'll be at a
We will miss you dearly, Nolan. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show, as we always do, with a 4-player minute. You guys know what it is. I'm not going to explain it. Brad?
What is the 4-player minute, Nick?
Where's y'all's energy tonight, guys?
Fuck you. All my fuck yous go to myself. And it's for all the games that I have not played, that I put down this year, that I barely touched this year. You know, thinking about my top 5 of the year so far, a lot of the games I left off are games that I've just not played enough of. You know? First thing that pops in my head, I barely touched that Witcher expansion. You know? And that directly relates to an area and characters that were from the books. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. Also, I can't believe I have not finished Darkest Dungeon. So fuck you for that. I cannot believe that I have barely fucking touched that Fire Emblem game. Me.
Oh, wow.
Fire Emblem. I barely touched it. Jeez. Fuck you, Brad.
Fuck you.
And fuck me because Apothia.
Fuck you, Brad.
That didn't come out this year, did it?
No, it came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
And fuck you for all the games that I know I'm going to. I mean,
yeah, fuck you, Brad.
Fuck you, Brad, for not finishing The Witness yet.
Yeah,
you know?
Brad, fuck you.
Like I adore. I mean, I adored what I played of that game, but I have not finished it. I don't know what's up with me, man.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's been a weird year. I finished a lot of stuff, but I feel like I've been finishing the wrong things.
Yeah.
And finally, fuck me for not playing more Street Fighter. I'm being a bitch waiting for this lady. I might not even like her when she comes out, you know? Never even played her before. It's just a bunch of fuck me's. Fuck me.
Yeah, fuck you.
Kind of like a fuck me.
You done?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
All right, so my hype this week goes to Uncharted 4 multiplayer patch 1.08. It just came out yesterday. They added a new map, a new ranking system, new skills, new weapons, a lot of stuff. A pretty decent overhaul. I played about 2 hours of it yesterday with some community members. Had a lot of fun. I'm excited to play some more. Kind of reinvigorating my drive for that game. Multiplayer's pretty good. I was also kicking ass yesterday. Not to toot my own penis, but I was.
What?
My other hype is for Don't Starve Together. Crispy and I played that for what I thought was going to be a couple hours. We ended up going like the whole fucking night.
The whole night. And we didn't starve.
And we didn't starve. We're on day 18.
It helps that Nolan's a robot.
Well, if you're enjoying it, y'all should just keep going. I mean,
I plan on it.
Okay.
You're not my father.
Even though it's no longer going to be our support of the month's game, I appreciate Urban Hitman for kind of getting me into it, because it was a game that I originally played for like all of an hour when it first came out, and I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
But all the time me and Crispy spent playing, I really, really liked it. So I'm definitely going to play more. My sweat is going to go to Mighty Number 9. Just, there's so many people telling me the game gets better, or, don't give up on it. And I don't plan on giving up on it, but I'm just having a hard time with it.
It's moving down your priority list.
Yeah, exactly.
makes sense.
And then my hype / fuck you, I guess, goes to Playdead. I don't know, for Inside. I don't know why they had to split the release of the game by a week.
That is weird.
Fuck you.
That sucks, because I didn't want to play it on the Xbox, and I want to play it on
Microsoft
PC.
money.
But I'm definitely sure Microsoft. But I'm sure they had something to do with that.
But technically, they're both.
Well, I mean, still,
Microsoft.
they don't want people to play it on PC. Everyone has a PC. No one's gonna play it on Xbox if they release it on PC.
They were trying to
About a
lure
week
in
is not
saps
enough.
like me who couldn't wait.
But a week is still not enough to convince people to play.
This guy's buying it on Xbox because he doesn't want to wait
Yeah,
a week.
because I'm gonna play tomorrow.
So yes, it does work.
Well, I will tell you this.
It worked on me.
I will tell you. It is.
I'm not saying it's
worth
not.
it.
I'm not saying it's not.
It's
It's
worth
just
it.
I don't have the drive to fucking want to boot. Like, first of all, plug in my Xbone and then boot it up and then update the system, and then
I barely know how that thing even works. It's
Dude,
got
I
the most
don't.
clusterfuck of an interface.
So
Yeah.
It's
fuck
terrible.
you.
And Nolan just built his new PC.
You start hitting
and
B.
play with
You
it.
start turn on your Xbox and just start hitting B, and you'll start like booting into
How the
shit.
fuck do you take a screenshot
Like, I don't get
on
it.
your Xbox? I tried to figure that out so.
You know how
hard
you do
last
it?
night.
How every time
Take a picture with
You take
your
a
phone.
picture
I take a picture of my phone, I post it to Twitter because that's all I know how to do.
All right, that's mine, Crispy.
All right, my hype this week. Actually, this is gonna sound like it's out of left field, but with the conclusion of the current season of Game of Thrones and the fact that I started reading the books again, I've really been thinking about playing Crusader Kings 2?
Hey,
Play a
You-
Game of Thrones mod?
let's do it together.
We should.
Because that is something that is really intimidating.
Wait, can you really?
I have it.
Is that like a co-op thing?
No, but
You mean like play
experience
at
it
the same
together.
time. Right. Gotcha. We should. Because I've had my eye on that mod for a while because apparently it's supposed to be incredible.
Yeah.
But Crusader Kings is let's do it. Crusader Kings is really intimidating, but I want to do it. I want to play it, and it's on sale right now. This is like $10 on the Steam sale right now for Crusader Kings 2. So I'll probably buy that. My sweat is like Brad. It's just for everything I haven't finished.
There's too
Like
much.
I want to play Uncharted 4 this year, but I don't want to play that before I've played the other 3 Uncharteds, which I've never played any of them. Yeah.
Limbo.
Limbo, I want to
Dark
go
Souls
back and play the like some of like those games I mentioned in my list. I haven't finished, like Dark Souls 3 or XCOM 2. I haven't finished. I bought Fire Emblem Birthright. I haven't even taken it out of the box
I
yet.
think you might need to put down Overwatch for a little while if you want to do
Overwatch
any
is
of
so
that.
good.
You bought Birthright? No, I'm
bought-
just kidding. That's the right one.
Fuck you. You told me to buy Birthright.
That's the right one.
And yeah, I mean, there's Hyper
Oh,
Light
shit.
Drifter was a really cool game that
Oh,
I
that's
played like
right.
about an hour of.
I remember we
Like-
had an argument. I'm like,
We all
bitch,
did.
you better play more because I have a point, and you
know.
didn't play anymore.
I didn't go back.
George really likes that game.
I know.
I really want to play
I
it for the end of the
really
year,
want
too.
to like that game.
It's good.
Okay. Was that was Hype Sweat. My thank you for this week is gonna go to Playdead Games for Inside. Like, dude, this game's like I hate to talk it up. Like I hate for people to be like, oh, this game's so hyped, and then go play and be like, meh, it's whatever. But for me personally, this was a beautiful game, and it I don't know, it was really resonated with me for some reason.
It's
I really liked
resonated
it.
with a lot of people.
And my fuck you for this week goes to the city of Austin. Okay? Check this shit out. I had class yesterday at 6 p.m. Park on the street outside the building. They have street parking that they charge for until 6, right? I parked at 5:20 and I was like, you know what? Fuck the police. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna take a fucking chance. And they fucking got me. Wrote a ticket 15 minutes before the end of the parking period. They fucking got me. City of Austin's getting their pound of flesh.
You know,
Technically, I'm in the wrong, but fuck that. But fuck that.
But fuck that.
you never like
Oh,
admire the city that you
worst-
live in because
No, I love the city
a lot
that I
of
live in.
that gets paid for by tickets from idiots
Yeah,
like you.
but they're very zealous in collecting that.
There's a lot of green space in Austin. You'd be really surprised.
Fuck you, Brad. Don't give me this xenophobic outsider bullshit. The worst part about it is the ticket, like they put them in a little envelope, and inside the envelope was also a coupon that was like, get $1 parking credit with Austin's whatever they sell like prepaid parking.
Is
shit.
$1 of anything worth it?
Well, I mean, parking maybe only because it's like 20 cents a minute or something,
Yeah.
or an hour. But yeah, fuck that.
20 cents a minute.
It's
would
like
suck.
$1 an
A
hour.
minute would be terrible.
All right. My 4-player minute, brought to you by Jason Bourne, starts now. My hype is to go and finish Inside. Because like I said many times over the course of this podcast, I was just plowing through that game, and I really wish I hadn't stopped. I feel like I've interrupted what should be a single experience, but I am super, super hyped to go back and play that game and finish it because it's totally enthralling.
Can't wait for outside.
You're the worst kind of human being, Brad.
At least I'm human.
My let's see what else. My sweat is fucking. Let's see, what's my sweat? Fucking Alamo Drafthouse still hasn't put tickets up for Jason Bourne yet. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's like
There's
the movie's
I'm
not even
watching
going to
it-
come out.
I'm watching it like I want to get
It's
like,
obviously a problem.
you don't
Nick.
understand.
should
You don't
get-
understand. I want like best seats in the house. Like I won't rest until these tickets are secured.
Dude.
So
Tweet at them. They usually
I did.
respond.
They didn't respond.
Oh, I'll tweet at them.
Killing
They'll
me.
respond to
Yeah,
me.
no,
I'm-
of course.
I'm-
Because y'all are like BFFs.
I'm a captain on the victory program.
the fuck does that even mean?
That I've
Oh, the-
What am I?
Yeah.
How do I check my
I've
rank?
visited
You
X
log
amount of
into
times
your-
in 1 year.
You're probably a citizen.
You're probably a citizen. Lols.
You look like a citizen.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like a
I'm
citizen.
a fucking captain. I'll tweet at him right now. No, there's no one looking
What if
at
I
that
tell him it's
account
my
right
birthday? Answer this question, bitch.
now. Maybe.
Let's
I'm
see.
a lieutenant.
My,
What are the ranks?
I think citizen, lieutenant, captain, and then like the top one is 50 visits in 1 year. That's not gonna fucking happen.
Dude,
my
next year we should do it.
my thank you is to all the kind people who wish me happy birthday on Twitter and Facebook and all that good shit. Thank you, Nolan, for the nice mug. What are you calling those mugs? Glassware.
Pint glasses.
The Marvel glassware sets. Those are very nice. Thank you, Chris Davis, for the Wolfenstein. Thank you for all the nice messages and everything. I really appreciate it. It really made my day. When my fuck you of the week goes to all the bad luck that's befallen me on my birthday.
That does suck.
I've ended up spending a lot of money today. A lot of it having to do directly thanks to that fucking raccoon that I told you got in my attic a couple of weeks ago. Fucking thing is literally...
It turned out it was all a promotion for South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
That raccoon has officially, as of today, cost me $800. So, fuck...
Devious
Oh,
ass
I'm
raccoon.
sorry.
Fuck that little trash can.
I'm not a captain. I'm a commandant.
What the fuck? Also, fuck the rock or whatever that was either fell from the sky or was intentionally thrown in my car today that shattered
We have a rock
window.
throwing problem here in Austin.
We have a rock throwing problem here in
What is
Austin.
up with that? Like,
And I think I may have been
people are dying.
I may have been a victim of it today. Something completely shattered my window while I was driving today. Not my window, but a glass piece on the top of my car. Luckily, not one of my windows. But it completely shattered it out of nowhere. And this is the third window-related incident I've had this month, and it's going
Which
to
is
cost
strange.
me several $100s. I'm sure.
Sucks.
to
You
fix.
should just not have glass on your car anymore.
I've had that car
would
for like
fix that
4
problem.
years.
No, but I'm saying that would fix that problem.
Oh, I didn't have glass on my car.
People who
Yeah.
drive glass cars shouldn't throw stones, Nick.
Yeah.
I didn't throw a stone, you prick.
Well,
Somebody else
someone
threw a
did.
stone. But yeah, seriously.
I mean,
I've
Nick,
had,
the glass on your car, you were asking for it.
I've had a go fuck yourself. I've had a pretty fucked up day as far as luck goes. So that sucks. But so fuck all that bad luck shit. Anyways, I think that's it for our show. Quick reminder, guys. Podcast on Thursday. Congratulations to how do we do it? Equinoxinator. Yeah. So congratulations, Equinoxinator, for winning our copy of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I'll be reaching out to you this evening or tonight when I get home to arrange that. So we'll be sending him a free copy of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. We'll be giving away a copy of Inside in July. So if you want more details on how you could enter to win that copy of Inside, all you have to do is go to 4playernetwork.com/giveaways, and we'll have all the information there. It's really quite simple, and you can enter up to 3 times per month. So we'd really appreciate it if you want to check that out. If you want to play the game and you don't want to pay for it, this is a really great way to possibly do that. And I think that's all we got. Happy 4th of July.
That's it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Nick and America.
two
Yeah.
video games where the protagonist wears a hat. Go.
Happy American Brexit.
Professor Layton
Good.
and Henry Hatsworth.
Cock.
Oh, man. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. 4playernetwork.com is the website, of course, which is brand new, renovated website. Check it out. And we will see you on the podcast next week. And you can catch us broadcasting games every single night over at 4pp.tv. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.